Oh, well, everybody know who I want next. I want Terrence Crawford next.
You're going to make that happen?
Huh?
You're going to make that happen?
Oh, definitely. That's the fight that I want. That's the fight everybody else want. Like I said, I'm going to get these straps that I'm going to go over there and take his shit too.
All right. Errol, congratulations. Terrific fight this evening.
Thank you, man. Down. Strap season. I know what time it is, baby. Terrence, I'm coming for that motherfucking belt.
All right.
I'm not catching fades anymore. Gotta keep my hands clean when they come for the board. Keep it smooth like a dawn, making moves in the dark. Cause I learned how to swim in the pool full of sharks. Now they coaches, cause they can't read all his motions. How the kid never switch codes, but he codes with focus. Staring down your team with a frozen, ice cold look that could end the summer solstice. Cause I'm more like the top dog. Keep on running game and the gang will accost y'all. I be calling plays from a plane while I'm off court. But we ain't the same, you a lame, I'm a mob star. Actually, I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athlete. Laughing.
Oh, well, everybody know who I want next. I want Terrence Crawford next.
You're going to make that happen?
Huh?
You're going to make that happen?
Oh, definitely. That's the fight that I want. That's the fight everybody else want. Like I said, I'm going to get these straps that I'm going to go over there and take his shit too.
All right. Errol, congratulations. Terrific fight this evening.
Thank you, man. Down. Strap season. I know what time it is, baby. Terrence, I'm coming for that motherfucking belt.
All right.
I'm not catching fades anymore. Gotta keep my hands clean when they come for the board. Keep it smooth like a dawn, making moves in the dark. Cause I learned how to swim in the pool full of sharks. Now they coaches, cause they can't read all his motions. How the kid never switch codes, but he codes with focus. Staring down your team with a frozen, ice cold look that could end the summer solstice. Cause I'm more like the top dog. Keep on running game and the gang will accost y'all. I be calling plays from a plane while I'm off court. But we ain't the same, you a lame, I'm a mob star. Actually, I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athlete. Laughing when the cop cars try to catch me. Cause I rolled off in a taxi. Put my feet up, I'm relaxing. Singing Figaro with no accent. While I pour strings from the streets in. Do it all with a straight face, I'm the kingpin. Top dog, top flow, boss mode. I'm the kingpin. Showstopper, top dog, Godfather. I'm the kingpin. They know I'm a dog and a beast, man. Yeah, I keep the peace with a piece, man. I ain't got no time for a piece, man. Why would I respond to a pawn? I'm the... Hold up.
If I let my dogs off the leash, then you might want to get out of Dodge while it eats me. Honestly, think it's not the blood and the beef. If they don't leave anything behind after eating.
I can see you soft, ever thought about retreating. If you never have, then they'll give you a reason. Better watch your tone, lose your bass when you speaking. Underneath the mask is the wrath of a beast. When you learn how to smile in their face, then go cutthroat. Then they wanna call you a con when the blood cold. I remember starving while y'all had a truckload. Now I'm with the mob with the call and the gusto. I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athlete. Laughing when the cop cars try to catch me. Cause I rolled off in a taxi. Put my feet up, I'm relaxing. Singing Figaro with no accent. While I pour strings from the streets in. Do it all with a straight face, I'm the kingpin. Top dog, top flow, boss mode. I'm the kingpin. Showstopper, top dog, Godfather. I'm the kingpin.
Let's see. Yeah, y'all check out that Diego. What's his name? Diego Pacheco fight last night. It was pretty good little dude. You know what I'm saying? You see, pretty good little. He got some nice work. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I love his little style. You know, he reminds me of Errol Spence Jr. the way he fights. Even though I never heard of him, well, I never heard of the dude that he fought. I mean, he put on a pretty good damn performance. Them damn uppercuts were hell. Excuse me, y'all. I'm trying to get organized here. So yeah, man, the dude looked pretty good. Dude looked pretty good. They want him to fight. I think they want trying to set him up for the Edgar Berlanga, and I think that's the dude. You know what I'm saying? They want to set him up for. But I have to see him. I have to see a little bit more of this Diego Pacheco. You know what I'm saying? But they're trying to build him now, so I want to see what he looks like. And I mean, you know what I'm saying? You can't just tell against Marcelo's. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Corregio or whatever. He, you know, what I'm saying he just went in there and destroyed. It was a good little fight. It was a good little scrap. But I got to see more of this dude before he, you know, what I'm saying just come in and they just start crowning him like, you know, what I'm saying the new, you know, Mexican, you know, destroyer or some shit like that. So you know, I want to see what he looked like. You know, what I'm saying against some good competition. Edward Belanga, that'd be a good damn fight because you know he been struggling. Hmm. Yeah, he been struggling like a motherfucker, man. You know, but he went back to the basics and he started retooling his boxing game and stopped trying to be a damn power knockout artist. You know what I'm saying? He might, you know what I'm saying, he might become something in the field, but you know, of course we got a lot of drama going on now with you got Devin Haney and you got Gervonta Tank Davis giving giving Devin a little bit of taste. I'm giving Shakur a little taste of his own medicine. And I just thought that shit was hilarious. You know what I'm saying? How they, you know, they're trying to big boy Stevenson. But, you know, if Stevenson, you know, for one thing, if he wasn't doing so much talk, I know he's trying to promote himself. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But, you know, so you gotta perform in the ring, you know what I'm saying? And you gotta be coming off some good performances, you know what I'm saying, to talk that kind of trash. You got to putting some damage on people too. You know, Devin got this problem too, you know, where, you know, he's going to have to like really stop putting some damage on people. You know what I'm saying? It's good to outpoint an opponent and everything. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? I like boxers. Nothing wrong with boxers. I think they both highly talented. I think they're the best boxers, you know what I'm saying, in boxing right now, as far as just the science of it. But you know what I'm saying? You don't just, you know, you got to add something to it, you know what I'm saying, to be able to put some damage on your opponent. That's what brings in the ticket sales and that's what make people want to see you. You know what I'm saying? So even though a lot of people like Shakur, he got his fans and Devin got his fans, but both of them, they basically damn near the essential same type of fighters. You know what I'm saying? They just got different skill level attributes and stuff, you know, and you know, but with Tank, you know what I'm saying, he's kind of like in a league of his own because he's got that incredible charisma and power, which separates him from the other two. Um, I don't understand. I don't understand why people think that you know these guys are like you know so far and you know apart in their skill set. But I think what sets Tank apart is you know what I'm saying what he can do with his power and his speed. He got speed, he got power, you know what I'm saying? He's got a high boxing IQ. So he got all those kind of gifts that you know what I'm saying that kind of separates him and that power is just is a totally different put him in a totally different category. So, you know, when they came out, Devin came out today and said that he was just going to offer. Uh, he said it was too generous to offer him 10%, and this talking about Shakur Stevenson. It was too generous, you know what I'm saying? Then Tank tagged on the end of that saying that's what he's offering Shakur 10%. So I'm like, oh my God, bro, that is kind of crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? But he put himself in that kind of position where you know, you just don't, you know what I'm saying, you don't want to get a, you know, fair deal. People want to do you dirty. You know what I'm saying, when you talk all kind of shit, right? Instead of trying to build a business relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, people hold grudges, you know what I'm saying, in real life. You know, I know boxing is entertainment, but man, in real life, people hold grudges. You see where Aerosmith Jr. would not give Keith Thurman a shot because of what he did to Aerosmith Jr. That's a grudge, right? You see Crawford how shrewd he is in the negotiation because of all this media, saying the fans going back and forth, saying which causes him to have this kind of chip on his shoulder. So in boxing, saying these guys are human, man. You know what I'm saying? So when he was dogging out Devin on the Lomachenko fight, saying that he thought Lomachenko won, that shit was, what I'm saying, that shit probably hit Devin deep because Devin be asking his opponents questions like, man, how was my power? And I just like, bro, what I'm saying, you need a black friend, bro. You need a black friend. You don't ask your opponent shit like that. But he's an honest kid, so you could tell he's a well mannered, well groomed kid, which don't take nothing away from his boxing. But saying he's gonna have to have some more street smarts, saying, when he come to talking to his opponents and stuff, because they're gonna use that and make him, that's nice Sunday church going kid, saying? Like, he already don't have power. So, what I'm saying? So he got to watch that, what I'm saying? Because his opponent's going to use every little scrap of information against him, what I'm saying? When he had that little, that little hyena he had, what I'm saying? They were dragging him for that, what I'm saying? So whatever Haney does, he's going to have to watch his image. I don't know if you need a PR person or something like that, just to duck low, lay low in his personal life, what I'm saying? So it don't affect his boxing, right? And but with Tank, coming out saying that's what he's going to offer Shakur, um, man, that's kind of, he's going to have to take the L. I think Shakur, if he want those big fights, what I'm saying, he's going to have to take an L, and he's going to have to learn how to take some risks in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Because not, it ain't just to have the top guys fighting, but you want an exciting fight, an action-packed fight. And if you go out there and you have these kind of performances that Stevenson had with the Santos, come on, bro. Nobody want to pay for nothing like that. Nobody's gonna pay for a 79.99 pay-per-view if you're just gonna, what I'm saying, like, not come in range and try to fight, And I understand that Stevenson is a master boxer, but you're gonna have to mix it up. What I'm saying, you're gonna have to add some offense. He don't even really have to come on the inside. I mean, he just needs to throw his hands. If he move his hands, bro, I think Stevenson will be a bad motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and I'm talking about not just against the B class opponents. I'm talking against the A class opponents. We want to see that mentality, transform, because we do think he's special. I mean, we do think his boxing skill is all that, but we want to see him against all opponents. We don't want to see him switch up the energy when somebody, what I'm saying, is athletic and somebody got some skills on the other side. What I'm saying, somebody who can really bang with him. And we want to see how his mind works as a boxer. What I'm saying? Is he truly, what I'm saying, a thinking boxer, or is he just so much more faster and gifted than everybody? That's something that we got to ask ourselves about Stevenson. Because when you look at the difference is, like, when you see Crawford, he's a thinker. He's going to try to outsmart you. He's going to use his experience, and he's got the heart to fight out of difficult spots, right? But that, you can't say that about Stevenson, because he won't allow himself to get into range. He won't allow himself to get into any kind of situation to where he has any adversity, to overcome any adversity. And that's going to be hard for him to sell to the boxing public. That's going to be really hard for him. You know. Let me see what you say. What's going on? Game time. What's going on? I ain't even holler at my people, running my mouth so much. What's going on? What's going on? Bowley Bowley in the building. So I dropped the link, Bowley Bowley, if you want to come on up. And game time, NP, what's going on? What's going on? What says what's how you say that? Biz King at Big Kings. He says, man, my boy Shakur is following the footsteps of Rigondeaux. He said the whole 12 round is like like a staring contest, and Shakur wins by invisible punches. I know, man. But at top rank, you know how that go. They got the best, saying they gonna they control the environment over there, and they're not gonna let their stars, saying, lose. So they pretty much control the judges and everything like that. Saying, you best believe they got a big steak dinner out of that one. He says, game time MP said, what's up, big bro? And what, let's see, what's going on? Biz King says, my boy, oh, I just read that. Let me see, let me go down. Bowley, what's happening, my brother? What's happening?
Hey, what's going on, Paul? Man, it's been a long time. How you doing? Everything good?
Yes, sir. You just had to work, man. I had a dedicated account that way I could sit down and only do a couple of runs a week, so I could do my live stream. So, and then they stopped drilling. Halliburton stopped drilling, so it kind of dried up. So I had to go find me
Oh,
another dedicated account. I had to hit the road, and so I couldn't do my live stream. So I had to drive, man, all over the country.
oh,
Um,
okay.
mhm,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a good. I mean, boxing wise, it's a good time to take a break. There's not much really is going on. You don't want to be honest with you. For me, like it cheapens the conversation since a lot of people, they come on YouTube to talk about boxing. It's like some of them are searching for stories and stuff, stretching the truth a little bit, which which we're used to, but it's been kind of slow anyway. So it's a good time to take a break, man.
well, I don't. That's the pressure of being a boxing journalist or a boxing reporter. You know what I'm saying? And having a huge channel, say you're forced to try to, saying you have to find that heat. You got to find that deep content, and it put a lot of pressure on those big channels. You know what I'm saying? Because they looking for, the sensational story. You know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah,
tell people I'm just a boxing fan. You know what I'm saying? I'm like just like you guys. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just been watching boxing for over 40 years, but I'm a boxing fan, you know what I'm saying? So, I love the sport and I made a channel so we can come up and talk about it. So, you know,
yeah. I was thinking a lot about it. I'm like, in between, I think a lot of these channels should they should work on talking about other fighters and building up the other fighters. I understand that people got to make money, and behind the scenes there's a lot of stuff that goes on as to who gets covered and who doesn't get covered. But I was glad I was looking at some other channels, and they started talking about Matias versus Russell, for example. Man, that got me going. That got me excited. I'm like, man, I'm glad somebody started talking about something else. Like, you know, if
yeah,
anything, if you want to talk about really what's going on with this Shakur stuff, this is why, you know, I'll just tell you what I see, and I'll tell you guys all the time. I said, man, to me, you talk about guys that really, I think that really would dominate the sport. Man, Morrell, I think. I know you're not. I know you think Antoine is a little bit susceptible. But I look at it differently, man. Looking at him from the amateurs to pros,
hmm
man, that guy's got it, and that's why, like, I'm sitting there looking at it like Haney, Shakur. No disrespect to those guys. Those guys are really good, but to me, you put them in with Russell, or you put the rest of that super middleweight division in with David Morrell. Man, those guys are gonna crush everyone. You
hmm
Same thing that you see with Boots, where people are like, "Man, Boots needs a shot." I see that with these other guys, but they don't get the same press. I
yeah,
don't. I'm not getting paid by anybody to say this. I'm giving you my honest opinion, and some people don't like it. I always pointed to that Nakatilia fight with Shakur as a red
hmm
flag, and still some people say, "Well, he won." Yeah, he won. He won that fight, but there was a lot of red flags as to what happened in that last fight that showed you that he is a little bit reluctant in certain instances to press forward, right?
hmm
With certain types of guys, and
and
that's
it
that's just
and
what
it,
it
and it
is.
and it shows you his nature. His nature is not to fight. His nature is to back off. His
Right,
nature is he's a natural counterpuncher, which what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with being a counterpuncher, but like Crawford, he's an aggressive, a confident counterpuncher. You see what I'm saying? With Stevenson, you get the sense that he's a timid counterpuncher. You know what I'm saying? Because he don't want to take any punches. Like he don't want to take and no, you know what I'm saying? Like if you understand what I'm saying, like no fighter wants to take a punch. But what I'm saying is he don't want the risk of he don't want to get in a range and take a risk. And that's going to be his problem because sometimes to really get a good result, like a knockout or a good, what I'm saying, damage on your opponent, you're going to have to step in and take a risk. And I don't see Shakur doing that. I think, what I'm saying, when you fight like a signature, if you have a signature adversary, somebody who can really raise your name up in the ranks, and I think that's what DeSanto represented for him. That opponent that was tough, that you went in there and you just dominated, like when Floyd beat Diego Corrales, that was a tough opponent supposedly for uh
right,
for Floyd, but he went out there and he showed what he can do with his skills and his feet, his hands. We saw a little bit of everything in that fight, And
Right.
this was Stevenson's opportunity to show us what separates him from Devin Haney, what separates him from Tank, what is that special gear that he has? What is that boxing IQ like? What how does he make his adjustments when he's facing somebody who's athletic and fast and stuff? And he kind of showed me right in this fight. He don't have it. He just have the physical abilities, but I don't think he has the mental IQ. You know what I'm saying?
I think I think he's got the IQ. I don't think it's an IQ issue.
Mhm,
I think like there's a confidence factor because there's two guys that always talk about sparring. Is Haney and is Shakur. And to me, what I heard, and I'm telling you just how I'm looking at it from a
mhm,
mental aspect. I'm breaking it because when you get into a ring, when you fight somebody, when you face somebody in some sort of competition, it doesn't have to be a fight. It could be a game. Sometimes you have to look beyond the X's and O's and say, what is the character makeup of this person? There's nobody in boxing that has said, I've gone around, this dude has gone around the country sparring everybody. I questioned that a long time. Why is he going around sparring everybody? What is it that he's trying to do? At the end of the day, it's about what you do. Yeah, you do need to see various styles, but you don't need to go spar. Like this dude has literally sparred everybody and has told you about it.
right.
And when I say he didn't tell you about it, he didn't tell you every detail, but he's told, oh, I sparred this guy. I ain't damn. Like, why are you going around? Why are you going around to everybody? To me, I looked at it like this: there's a lack of confidence going on there.
Mm,
He doesn't believe, and he's also been in. Remember, he's also been in in that Olympic gym, and guys typically the older generation didn't talk about the sparring stuff, right?
mhm, right.
Kept it indoors because for a reason, because it's just practice. Like things happen in practice. You know, that's why you practice to get better. So when the lights come on, you look like you're that guy.
Right.
So to me, I look at it like there's a little bit of it's not a lack of skill. Shakur is very talented. That's why he's getting his props and people are giving his props because he is. But there's there's a lack of confidence there. That's the only thing that I can explain. Like even the inability to come forward against Edwin De Los Santos. De Los Santos was playing with house money. That dude didn't care other other than to not get knocked out. I'm not getting on. I haven't gotten on his case because he doesn't have the same height. But he was equally as bad, and he just wanted to prove I can do what Shakur's doing, and he proved that. To me, that
Mhm.
fight should have been a draw. Nobody should get a belt off a fight like that.
I agree. You know, I
That
agree.
fight
I
should
mean,
have been a draw.
I think Shakur touched him a little bit more, but
I don't think so.
I mean, the whole fight was just so you know, it's so wishy washy, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was hard to tell because they were both giving each other too much respect. You know what I'm saying? And it was like a game of tag. And I don't consider that a boxing match. You know what I'm saying? Not two
No,
guys that's trying to win a championship. That was not a championship fight.
no, it wasn't.
Or I mean, the title on the line, it was the caliber. You know, it was for the WBC belt, but that was bullshit. I mean, I don't think in boxing history I have ever seen such a dull match. And guys with that devoid of the passion. You know what I'm saying? Not really trying to win. You know what I'm saying? Like really, you know what I'm saying? Showing this, you know, that fighting spirit and trying to grab the belt to show that they're the best. It's like two guys. It was just like two guys just sparring or something. And I think that's the problem, you know what I'm saying? If you have a sparring session, you know what I'm saying, in a championship fight, you know, and you talking all this stuff, you know what I'm saying, before the fight, like you're just gonna, you know, dominate and you're just gonna, you know, like go in there and just beat this man down, then you get in there and lay an egg. So, you know, so I think Stevenson need to slow down a little bit because I see the same things in him that I see in Keyshawn Davis, right? Um,
Keyshawn's way more aggressive. Way more aggressive.
Yeah, but against certain, I mean, he got to up his opponents. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like,
right,
yeah, even Shakur was aggressive. You know what I'm saying, against certain opponents. So
right, right, right.
when you finally get that dude, we want to like Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Each time he stepped up, you know what I'm saying, he was able to beat the dude they thought that would give him some trouble, right? Or Errol Spencer, any of the guys we peg as we think they're above they A level, right? And so I want to see that in Stevenson, like just like Floyd, anytime he moved up, you know what I'm saying, he separated himself. I don't think Stevenson really separated himself from
No,
DeSantos. And I think they need.
No,
I think that they need to run that back. And anytime it was any controversy in a Floyd fight, he would run it back, and then he would really separate himself
man,
from
you
that.
can't run that back. You
Mhm.
can't run that back. There's no way you can run that back because that fight was so bad. Who would want to put money up for that? How can you gather a group of people and say we're going to do it again? You can't
Well,
put that. You can put that. You can put that now. I mean, Shakur loves sparring, so he can spar De Los Santos as many times as he wants now because that fight's never going to happen again. It's not.
I thought
You
to
can't.
myself, I said, Stevenson may be, because we heard Danny Garcia got me thinking about this. And it was Danny Garcia when he was talking about what happened to Spence, and he said, because he was talking about himself, he said, man, he said, like the longer you in training camp and the longer you spar guys, it be tearing you down, it be breaking you down, and if you spar too much, it can hurt you in a big fight. And I think about how much Stevenson be sparring people. And I said, you know what? And then, you come across some guys that's good. You still going to take hits, what I'm
Yeah.
saying, in the fight. And so if you sparring that damn much and you training, all the time, year round, you're going to have to learn, you're going to have to get a balance. You're going to have to slow down because too much training like that, taking hits to the chest, to the liver, to the head, what I'm saying, it's going to affect you over time. So he's been in long enough to
I just
mhm.
I look at it a little different. I'm looking at it more from the perspective of not so much. Yeah, you can overtrain, like training too much. That's a possibility. But
But what you
I
think
guess what
about
I'm
what
saying
Danny
is like,
Garcia said? Well, I mean, like he said, like if you just sparring four, three, two guys. I don't know how many guys he sparred, but if you sparring that many people, what I'm saying, you're taking your vitality out. I mean, yeah, you're getting sharper, but it's also taking something from you. You know what I'm saying? Because you are getting hit. You're not getting hit with full force at time, but some of those punches are hurting you. Some of those punches, and if you're doing three, four training, what I'm saying, partners, then you got your own little crew that you play around with and spar. You don't think that can hurt you? You know what I'm saying, in a fight?
but
You know what I'm saying?
we don't. The thing is we really don't know how much he is or isn't doing. But
Right.
what is apparent from what he's, because he always talks about it. That's why you know
Hmm.
I'm he always talks about how many different people he sparred. Imagine that you are in the same. Let's say that you're not a driver, but you are instead a chef, right? And let's
Hmm.
say that your specialty, you're you make let's say you do soul food, right?
Hmm.
And that soul food, and you know that you're competing against a bunch of other restaurants that also serve soul food. There's a bunch of soul food restaurants, right? But everybody says that yours is the best, and you keep bringing everybody into your kitchen and showing them your recipe. What is that going to do for you in the long run? That means you're bringing everybody to you are making everybody just like you. They are seeing how you fight or how you cook, what ingredients you use, and they're going to use that and they're going to expound on it because they're not going to show you what they're working on because you're too busy putting everything out there and you're making it a competition. Sometimes like you need to get, I'm not saying you need to get beat up in sparring, but even used to see Muhammad Ali taking punches in sparring. Why would he do that? That's part of
Hmm.
boxing too. You have to, just as much as you give, you have to learn how to take as well, right?
Yeah, I
There's
agree
there's
with that.
there's a lot of that as well. And you don't have to be a boxer to figure this out. You just got to think about it. You just got to think about it a little bit. And I don't think that, I think that was part of the issue in that De Los Santos fight, but I think it's just that, when he has built that type of idea in his mind. Like if you say, well, I'm not going to lose in sparring, part of boxing is give and take. Sometimes you have to allow the guy to come forward to give back. Sometimes you have to take certain punches, or you have to know which punch to take or which punch to allow the guy to come through so you can land what you need to land, because you don't want all your, it's it's called boxing, but essentially at the end of the day, what's going to is going to get you really paid is beating somebody up and getting the knockout.
Yep. Yep.
And
I
and
agree.
that is not where he's at right now. That's just a fact. Wasn't He's like 21 and 0 with now 10 knockouts, right?
Yeah. Well, when you see what Shakur can do, and you seen what he's done in the past, saying that's the kind of performance. You have your expectation kind of grow for him because he got the hand speed. He got that distance control. What he can do in the ring. So we expected to see that against the Santos, but it was mental. Whatever it was mental. He couldn't pull the trigger on that guy because he respected that power. And I think the Santos, he kind of represented that dude that you really don't want to fuck with, because he got a really awkward style. You know what I'm saying? And he got super fast hands, man. He is not slow.
He's not slow. He's
He
dangerous.
is he is not slow, bro. I mean, that boy can counter punch like a mother, bro. And I mean, he's fast with it too. So Stevenson made sure to stay away. I don't know what he hit Stevenson with. I don't know if he watched too many of his
He watched
tapes.
too much tape. He watched too much tape. That's the
I
problem.
don't know what it is, but
Yeah.
Stevenson wasn't having none of it, man. He was like, "Look, I'm not fit to let this dude embarrass me." And I think you need to stay off of social media too, because I think that put another pressure on him because they go in there talking crap with Devin Haney, and they go taking stabs at each other. Talking to Tank, and they got that rivalry going on. So if he goes in there and he gets hit and get knocked down and get falloom like a cartoon, now when he go into those conversations, like they got a highlight reel on him. You know what I'm saying? So you need to stay off social media,
Yeah.
and and concentrate on being a fighter. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
hone his inner key. You know what I'm saying? To keep that meanness. You know what I'm saying? So he could take those risks. What I saw in that fight, I was just surprised, man. I was like, damn, man, Stevenson he just looked shook.
Let me give you.
You
Let
know?
me give you. Let me give you another thing about De Los Santos that people are not recognizing because we're focused on Shakur because he's supposed to be the star.
Right.
De Los Santos looks like the pound for pound guy, and I'm gonna explain it to you real easy and real quick. Last three fights, De Los Santos fought Ryo. He knocked his ass
Yeah.
out, and in a
That
very exciting
was my
fight,
boy right there.
he
Mhm.
knocked Ryo's ass out. The next fight, he fought
Third round.
Adorno. The next fight, he fought Adorno. Looked totally different, masterfully.
He was
If you can
boxing.
find the fight, he outboxed his ass, and he looked like he was he was all over the place. He looked quick to the punch. He looked like he was athletically ahead of Adorno. He looked like he was thinking 3 and 4 steps ahead of Adorno. And then he came into this fight against Shakur and played Shakur's game. And you can argue just as well that he won that fight, as well as you can argue Shakur. If you think Shakur won that fight, I can argue that De Los Santos won that fight. Nobody won that fight.
Like I said, it was kind of like a no contest or
Excuse
some
me.
shit, man. It was kind of a
That
no
fight to
contest.
sleep early. That's who the winners were in that fight. If you went to sleep at your normal time that night on a Thursday, you won.
Yeah, I mean, because when he fought Adorne, so Adorno or how you ever pronounce his name, he put on a real master clinic. You know what I'm saying? And
Yep.
I know Joseph Adorno is not like some household name, but he showed that he's not just a pressure fighter. I mean, he showed that he got different elements to his boxing style, and I was like, man, this dude here, uh, when they mentioned him to be for Stevenson, and I seen how fast he really was, the power that he possessed, I said this gonna be a pretty good little fight. And Stevenson just needed this was the perfect opponent, man, for him to come out of that little junior league, for him to come into, what I'm saying, the main light as one of the premier champions and stuff. And now he going in there with that Crawford shit, that shady shit, like, dude, what I'm saying, you got to perform, what I'm saying, to your best level against, what I'm saying, your top opponents and stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? We want to see you go out there and dominate with confidence, right? You got Crawford in your corner. You got Ward right there beside you. Everybody's giving you the approval. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're a silver medalist. You know what I'm saying? You got the pedigree. So now we just need to see the heart. You know what I'm saying? You got to get the heart, man. That 10-minute heart. I mean,
If
if he can't overcome it, he ain't gonna become a big star. It's not gonna
if
happen
Del
for him.
if De Los Santos, if the shoe was on the other foot and De Los Santos is the guy with the Reebok endorsement with the
Yeah.
silver medal, with all the clout and the name, Shakur doesn't win that fight. It's as simple as that. With that performance, he doesn't win that fight. That's why I'm saying. And if anybody tries to argue about that, just if anybody's listening that hears and hears what I'm saying, and you think as I'm thinking in that sense, and you think that fight easily could have gone the other way, just use that argument, because there's no way Shakur would have won that fight. No way.
I mean,
if I was nitpicking and I cared that much, I'd count the punches just to prove it, because everybody only focuses on the punches. De Los Santos was equally as defensive. Anyway, both guys deserve blame for that. We're just talking about Shakur because he's the guy in terms of other than Tank in that division. Shakur's the guy. So,
what really got my attention was how uncomfortable Shakur was on the inside with this guy, and how uncomfortable. Yeah, how uncomfortable he was when he put his back towards the ropes, man. He was like a squirrel when his back was against that rope, and man, he was just scrambling to get the hell out that damn corner. I was like, damn, he did. You know how you can like you could step out, or you know what I'm saying, you could switch out real smooth. He looked like he was desperate to get the hell out that corner, boy. And you know what I'm saying? It's like he was like locking down on him like Anthony Joshua did against Andy Ruiz. Like, I'm like, damn, man, what the hell's going on? He acting like he been knocked out or something. You know what I'm saying? Like
this is what he did in the Nakathila fight. But in the Nakathila fight, Nakathila didn't have the same offensive acumen that De Los Santos has. Mm-hmm. You know, like Nakathila he has that hard ass punch, but he doesn't have the footwork to stick with Shakur. De Los Santos has the footwork to stick with Shakur. That was the difference, and that's why these people think that when we talk about this stuff that we're hating on the guy. No, I got no reason to hate on Shakur. None. I'm just being honest. Like, and it's not the end of the world. This is just a bad fight, by the way. He can come back the next 3 fights and look just as good as he's always looked, maybe even better. But we're just talking about this fight.
I don't think we can broad brush his whole entire career from this one fight, but
no.
But he is going to have to stay on this level of competition if he's going to get used to it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, he's going to have to fight a De Los Santos level type of fighter if he's want to get better, if he want to get used to. If he's going to fight a Tank, if he's running away from De Los Santos, what the hell he's going to do against Tank?
That fight is done. That fight is done too. It's not necessarily done. He can get, you know, he'll be able to get that fight because there's a commercial value behind Shakur, just like there's a commercial value behind Ryan Garcia. But it doesn't mean that he'll win that fight. And there's a good chance that the people who are backing Shakur, they're gonna say they want no part of Tank unless Tank looks like very diminished, very, very diminished.
Damn,
but even then, like, why would you'd be crazy? You'd be crazy to put him in there with Tank right now. You'd be crazy. They're not going to do that. Why would they? I mean, I'm just being honest.
Damn, Snoopy Mac said he got it 9-3 Dos Santos. God damn.
And you know, and like I told you, I follow. You know, I'm a big Russell guy. Russell. This is what he said after his last. Russell was so disappointed in himself that he knocked that guy out so fast. He said, "Man, I got to go back to the drawing board and make this more prettier for the fans." I'm like, no, keep destroying these guys. That's what you need to do. That's what the game is missing. To me, Shakur has to have that mentality and say, I'm going to go back because he's got all the skill. He said, I got the skills. Let me just rework it a little bit. Let me rework the recipe. That's all he has to do. It's not that complicated. He's still that talented guy.
Yeah.
He's still that talented guy, so he just has to rearrange it and make it more palatable. I disagree with what Russell was saying about these other guys. You can't play in that boxing ring. If you can get him out in the first round, get him out. Who cares? I don't care. Like, get rid of him. We want to see great – people want to sign up for greatness just because, you know, I think some people haven't figured out this media game and how it works and how you get your name out there. You know, it's what old media has used. Well, new media is no different. They want to get paid too. So you want somebody to say something good about you, apparently you got to pay for it. Coverage is not free, right?
Yeah,
you have to have backing. That's why you got to have backing.
That's why you have PR. That's why you have PR teams, right?
Yeah, and sometimes right, and nobody has, you know, the Haneys have figured that out. That they're ahead of the game there. You know, they're ahead of the game there, and they have figured out. That's what I was typing to you, and the thing is, like, Bill Haney figured out a long time. He steps in front of the fire for his son. All his son does is focus on boxing. Bill Haney has people all over YouTube that talk about his son on a consistent basis. He does it himself when he has to, and he talks crazy so his son doesn't have to. That's why this next fight is dangerous, because Regis has obviously figured it out. He put probably the least important guy in his camp in front of the mic, because the strength and conditioning guy is in between fights. The strength and conditioning guy doesn't have to worry too much during the fight, so he put that guy in front to talk shit for him. So Regis is a very dangerous guy in this fight now, by the way.
And boy, what's his name? What's that guy named Tory? What was his name? He can talk shit, man. That dude, he's an old school shit talker, boy. I mean, he was.
I like that
guy. God damn, he was talking about how Devin Haney lost the fight to Loma and how weak he is. He can't punch. I like, man, this dude here is tripping, man. I like that dude is an old school shit talker.
Now this shows me that Regis is very, very smart, and he has figured out. He said, okay, I'm not going to sit there, because that is a distraction technique by Bill Haney. Bill Haney gets you into those arguments. If you're the other fighter, you sit there and argue with Bill Haney, that is taking your training time away. It's taking your focus away, where you should be focusing on the little X and O's. You're worried about going back and forth on social media, and Regis isn't doing that. So that tells me that Regis is going to be very dangerous in this fight. That's by my estimation. Looking from the outside.
Well, hopefully, you know what I'm saying, if he's as explosive, if he can get his explosiveness back, because that last fight showed a little weakness there, where, you know, so he looked a little slow. He couldn't cut the ring off. And of course, this guy was just like he was fighting like Shakur.
You mean against Zorilla?
Yeah.
Like he was a replacement opponent. Remember, he wasn't the original opponent.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, still, even with that, you're still supposed to be a higher caliber guy. This guy fought Josh Taylor. You know what I'm saying? That was a hell of a fight. And I think that Regis that fought Josh Taylor beats Devin Haney. Now, if he can get back to that level. You know what I'm saying? And
maybe, yeah. Zorilla was a good opponent, though, because he was on ESPN.
Did you see how he fought? Did you see the fight?
What, Regis versus Zorilla?
Zorilla, yeah. Did you see that fight? Yeah. And you say he a good fighder? You know what I'm saying?
Zorilla's good. Yeah, he's really good. I saw him fight before.
I think because even Regis said he thought the guy was going to fight another way, but the way he fought Regis, I just thought
that's why he's good.
Shit, I thought he sucked that fight. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like that style.
He was smart. Yeah, he was fighting. Yeah, he's not there. He's not there to stand still and get hit, and he's not there to be palatable for the. You know, that's the difference when you fight some of these guys. And I heard Fanon say it, and I don't like to generalize when it comes to people from certain parts of the world. But yeah, like some of these guys, they're fighting out of the island countries or from the Central America stuff. Man, these guys got various styles. It's not just one thing. They're gonna do different things in there. That's gonna make you think. That's gonna throw you off on patterns. You know, that's what, on an even playing field, these guys are very tough. They don't always have, they don't always have things in their favor. And I think Regis did a good job to maneuver in that fight. I mean, considering if he had time to prepare for that guy, I'm sure he probably would have got him out of there, or at least, dropped him a few more times. Like
he looked like Rigondeaux versus Casemiro in that damn fight. Zorilla. He looked like Rigondeaux running around the ring. I just hated that style, man. I was like,
he didn't run that much. He didn't. I mean, he was being elusive.
That much. He didn't. Oh, I ain't even gonna. Boy, I was like, man, this nigga here was
not to the point of not like Rigondeaux versus what was that fight where he was running?
Casemiro.
Yeah, man, that Rigondeaux was trolling everybody with that shit.
Bro, that motherfucker was so far out of range, bro. I mean, and he got the. I'm talking about that motherfucker got long ass arms. He had them damn monkey arms, man. I'm talking about like a orangutan, and boy, that was giving Regis all kind of issues, man. I was just like, damn, Regis.
And before I forget, Paul, I want to put this in perspective. During that last Shakur card, I was on Just Du's page, which is he's real big into Shakur, which a lot of us are anyway. but it wasn't him. But the whole chat when Brian Norman was fighting, what's the name of that guy? Brian Norman was fighting Quentin Randall. They were getting they were getting on Brian Norman's case because Randall was trying to figure it out, and I'm like, no, Brian Norman is trying his best to push this fight. He's the one that's really pushing the issue, and people are getting on his case. I'm like, no, he doesn't look that bad. That guy is a game fighter, and he's not going to sit there and just take punches. He's not being as aggressive, but he knows the game. It's not easy. And then the Shakur fight happened. The Shakur and De Los Santos fight happened. I said, okay, now talk shit about Brian Norman. Now tell me what Brian Norman wasn't. That when you look at it from that perspective, it looks totally different.
Well, I think in that fight, I think Brian Norman knew this was his guy's first 10-round match, and I think he was trying to rough him up to tire him out. You know what I'm saying? Because he got a certain, so you got a certain method to make it to 10 rounds. So your conditioning is, so you're supposed to have more conditioning, but I think Norman wanted to test his conditioning. And because it was his first 10-round match, and I think he was going to really, take him into the deep waters and try to beat his ass like that. And the guy, he tired out. I mean, he didn't have any power on his punches by the end of that fight.
You talking about Randall or Norman?
No, I'm talking about Randall.
No, Randall is a very smart fighter. He knows his way around the ring, and he wasn't going to put himself in a position to where he get KO'd. Like he wasn't going to serve. He's not going to serve his chin up. That's what was going on.
But did you see what Brian was doing? Did you see what Ryan? What's his name? Brian Norman Jr. You see, he was trying to rough him up every chance he got.
Everything. Absolutely, he was giving it all he could. My point was about that is that like people were criticizing Brian Norman. I said, and in real time, I'm sitting there like. I know you don't like how the fight looks, but one guy is trying to be offensive, and the other one is not so much. Towards the end of the fight, Randall got offensive, and he did some good things, but he couldn't put it together. But my point was, and just to compare the two fights, was that what happens when two guys really don't want to hit each other was Shakur versus Edwin De Los Santos, because they're playing foot politics. They're playing a lot of positioning. They're playing that chess match. Without really they're throwing the feet, but they're not throwing the hands, right? Like that was the difference. So that was my point about that, because people were getting on Brian Norman's case. Like sometimes you guys got to chill with that shit, man. Like these are professionals. Even me, like, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
Now I was gonna say, like, there in my mind, like I actually appreciate the Stevenson versus De Los Santos fight. My issue is if you're gonna have a fight like that. Don't put it on a Thursday at 12 a.m. or going into Friday morning. The fight ends at 1 a.m. on a Thursday, and we're hardcore fans. We're going to sit there and watch that. Man, put that shit on a Monday at 5 p.m. I'm good with that because I'm not losing any sleep over it.
Yeah, I'm not losing any sleep for it being on Thursday. I mean, for what we got. Man, I had no problem with it being on Thursday because my problem is that it was for a belt. That's my problem. That it was for a belt, and these guys, even though that's the styles clash, that's what we got between those two. But hopefully, I want to see it again and see if they take another tactic. If Steve will come with more heart. Anytime you're a special fighter and you're pegged as the future of boxing, you got to run that back, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got to show us something better than that. I don't want to see these guys just get by. I don't want to see them just scrape by. You know what I'm saying? If it's controversial like this fight was, I want to see it again. And I think Stevenson, if he had the pride of, a special fighter or a fighter that's supposed to be elite, he need to run that back and show a better performance. He shouldn't let that slide. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna really.
Well, you know what happened in that fight too? Let me tell you on the low what really happened as well. Shakur in the long term, I think he lost the Tank fight. And I think De Los Santos got himself a Tank fight because Tank is on the same side of the street as De Los Santos. And we know that De Los Santos, if you push him, if he has the right opponent, we know De Los Santos is going to slug it out and make an excellent fight. So I think De Los Santos is about to end up on Tank's plate pretty soon. Maybe after one fight, 1 or 2 fights. I think De Los Santos versus Tank might happen. I could be wrong on that, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I think that's what's coming because we've seen this before from Shakur. We've never seen that from De Los Santos. De Los Santos is a mixed bag, like I told you. He surprised me these last 3 fights, honestly.
What my man said, what you said, Sambi, I'll mangle your name, bro. He says, Steven Jackson said Shakur got the cure for insomnia.
Oh yeah, a lot of people were saying that. That's tough, man.
Oh, that's crazy, man.
No, actually, it was Rolly who said that too. Rolly said that as well.
Well, he's the worst goddamn champion at 140. That dude just he's a troll, bro. He says, George Curry says, I think Regis would be good for the first 3 rounds, then get out box the rest of the way. And a lot of people ain't talking about that this fight with Regis and Devin Haney. But see, this is going to be a huge test for Devin. There's a lot of different layers going on with this fight because he's one of the 35 pounders that's coming up. Him and Ryan in that class, to see how they do at 140, and you got a litany of good boxers at 140. What's his name? Richardson, Hitchens, and
yep.
You got Matisse. You got so many good boxers. You know what I'm saying?
You seen this guy Ergashev that Matias is about to fight? Have you seen him fight yet?
Ergashev?
Yeah, he's fighting Matias on the Andre Benavidez card.
Isn't he a tall white guy from one of them?
Guy. Yeah,
from Chinka.
Oh, it's gonna be a hell of a fight. He's dangerous. He is dangerous. I'm telling you right now.
I don't know if he dropped weight, but it was this one dude at 154 from one of them Chinkian, one of them Lubanian countries and shit. That motherfucker had skills out the ass, man. I did a video and I got to go back and pull that up. And that dude, I think I got copyright striked on that shit too. That dude was bad as hell though. But some of the, they better stop sleeping on these boys. You know what I'm saying? Because they really about their damn business, man. They really that's all they doing is boxing, bro. Why they going to the damn jewelry shop and getting Lambos and all this shit here? They better stop that shit and get in the gym and do.
Some of these guys are annoying though. You remember that guy that fought who was the dude that fought F.A. Ajagba 2 fights ago, and he didn't want to get knocked out and he kept fighting dirt.
Okay.
And then Karen against Boots. Because he didn't want to get knocked out, he decided to run around until the 12th round, and in the 12th round, he tried to
to me, he fought like Zarola, like he fought like that dude you talking about, Zarola, whatever.
Yeah,
that's the same shit because he was hitting Boots, he was smacking Boots, man. He was moving around. Every now and then he'll do a little ambush and he'll surprise Boots. Because Boots didn't know when the fuck he was gonna really, attack.
That guy, Karen was running. You can go back and watch. Karen ran for 11 rounds, and then the 12th round he decided to mix in.
Shit, you don't think what's his name? Zarilla, you don't think Zarilla ran for 12 rounds? Shit, it was the same shit.
He was forcing Regis to reset, but he was throwing punches.
What you think Karen was doing? He was running around.
No. Karen wasn't throwing no punches, and he was running from one post to the next post.
We never seen Boots. We never seen Boots, look like that. You know what I'm saying? Reaching and missing, and trying to really run this guy down and stuff. Like you got. Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to get into. My point was by pointing out some of these guys is that we can't make any cultural assumptions because one guy will show you something and another guy will show you something totally different. But Ergashev against Matias, that guy is dangerous. He is he is very, very dangerous. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Sergio Martinez, except obviously the division is different.
Oh shit! I gotta check him out. Shit.
Yeah, it's gonna be that's gonna be a hell of a fight. He's very, very deceptive because he's a southpaw, but he doesn't throw long punches. He throws a lot of short punches. in between, and he throws a high volume, and he's quick. Not, he's quick because of his proximity, not because of his actual speed.
Mm-hmm.
So that means he's very technically sound. So I can't wait for that fight. Benavidez Andre is this Saturday, right? Isn't it this Saturday?
I think it's next Saturday. Is it the 20th?
Yeah.
It's on the 25th, right? 25th.
25th, yeah, that's this Saturday. Oh man. Oh man, that's a card we need right there. That has to cleanse boxing from that whole Shakur fiasco. The Shakur Edwin De Los Santos fiasco. We need that.
Well, Jose Benavidez told me he want to slap the shit out of
man, Charlo's gonna knock
Wood.
his ass out.
Not Andre
Charlo's
Wood, but what's his name?
Andre
Boo Boo. He want to slap shit out of Boo Boo for talking shit about his brother. I was like, man, concentrate on your own fight. Concentrate on your fight.
Like, there's no comparison. Oh my gosh, somebody's driving on the wrong side of the street. That is scary stuff. Okay, anyway.
Christian is set to be great, but give Shakur Kitchwood. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that.
People were wondering. They said, it's funny. People don't think for a second. They said, how come Jose Benavidez Jr. versus Jamal Charlo isn't for the belt? Because what has Jose Benavidez Jr. done to get a title shot? He hasn't won a belt in any of the other divisions. And then the last guy that he fought at MGM in Maryland was like, I mean, this guy had, I don't know, like 15 losses or something like that. You can't throw somebody like that into a title fight. Then everybody else in the division is going to be angry because they spent their time and hard-earned money to be usurped by a guy who's won no belts, who's like in his third or fourth division, and he's fighting the champion, and he's going to get a title shot. You can't do that. Like, that's why. Even Jamal Charlo said, they were asking Jamal Charlo online, he said, they were saying, like, why is the fight at 163? It's because he's undisciplined. Charlo straight up said, without saying, because these guys don't want to dime out the whole situation, he said, it ain't because of that. It's because the people didn't want you to be in a title fight. It's because they can't justify it. Just like you couldn't justify giving Ngannou a title shot against Fury at 0-0.
Well, let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100. Sanctioned bodies, they don't care about that. They do what they want to do. Let's just get that off the rip. To all extent, they do. They don't care if you rank. You could be ranked 89, bro. Look how they brought up what's your boy who fought Crawford, right? You know what I'm saying? What's his name? David A. They brought him up just so he can challenge Crawford. So, the sanctioning bodies, they can do what they want to do. We've seen it a number of times. They don't care nothing about that. It's just that I'm gonna tell you why they did what they did. They did that because they don't know where Jamal is. You know what I'm saying? They still pushing Jamal, and they still behind Jamal, but they don't know where he is right now. And he's a good get back fight. You know what I'm saying, for Jamal, just to see where he is mentally, just to see where he is, and he don't want to lose his title to a Jose Benavidez trying to get back, because we saw Keith Thurman come back and almost get his ass knocked out by Riverside Rocky. You know what I'm saying? We've seen fights like that. You know what I'm saying? Where the guy
Charlo versus Adames is next, by the way.
Say what now?
Charlo versus Adames is next. Just to let you know. That's the next fight.
Okay. That's a damn good fight. I thought he was fighting somebody else.
No, Charlo versus Adames is gonna be. I mean, assuming that Charlo beats Benavidez, which is probably gonna happen. That's what's even. There was an interview that what's Charlo's trainer? I'm forgetting his name. I just got a brain fart. I can't believe it. Morrell's trainer. They got the same trainer.
Yeah, that motherfucker's training everybody too, man.
Yeah. Anyway, he was interviewed like months ago, and the guy said, true or false, Charlo versus Adames will happen this year. He said, true.
Well, that's good. That's good, because well, Jamel, you know what I'm saying, because we got to see, he's gonna have to show us something all over again, because that Canelo fight was a debacle, bro.
No, Maul, not Jamel, Jamal.
Oh, that's right. He at 160. Carlos is at 160.
Yeah. Maul. I'm talking about Maul.
Now, that's a good fight.
Ronnie Shields. Ronnie Shields.
Ronnie.
Sorry, I just got a brain fart. So yeah, Ronnie Shields.
That goes to show you that Jamel, you know what I'm saying, he's trying to get back in for real, because Carlos Adames is a beast, man. You know what I'm saying? That boy can fight. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? That,
yeah.
that boy got power, he got speed, he got good boxing IQ, he's tough, he could take a punch. Who was that he just took apart? Who was that he just fought? Carlos Adames. What was his last fight? I done seen so many fights.
He fought. Damn, I don't know. I can't
He
remember.
just, who did it? Let me see. Look it up. Carlos Adames. He
It
just
was
took apart somebody.
It wasn't the guy that Charlo fought, and then people were like, "Oh, look what he did to him when he knocked him out in 3 rounds."
Let me see. Carlos Adames.
Juan Montiel Macias, wasn't
Oh,
that his
Julian
name?
Williams. How can we forget that? How
Oh,
can we
J
forget
Rock.
that?
Oh yeah, J Rock. I forgot.
How
Yeah,
can
that
we
was the
forget
fight
that?
before that. Because it was
Yeah,
a forgettable fight. Because we
man.
knew that. We knew Adames was going to beat up J Rock. I hate to admit that, but I mean, we knew that. We knew what was going to happen. We knew.
You know,
I mean,
it's just that J Rock, he can't take punches that well. His punch resistance is
J Rock
suspect.
laid it on the line against Jared Hurd. That's the problem. You know, that's when you have to. That's why defense is a scoring criteria, because when you don't have the defense, you can win that fight. That was like a Pyrrhic victory for J Rock. He became unified champion, but he was never the same after that fight.
Yeah. Well,
And people
his
always look at it
chin,
like,
that weak chin, man. That's his problem, man. You tap him on the chin, he gone, bro. You know what I'm saying?
he took
That
a
chin.
lot of abuse in that fight, man. And then he fought Rosario, who himself has issues to the body, but damn, he punches hard too. Like that 154 division is no joke. You've seen a lot of guys.
Oh, I agree.
At
And
154, they don't last. They don't last
and
long.
Tim Zoo, you think he going to grab another belt?
Tim Zoo,
I mean,
well,
against anybody. I mean,
all the other belts are owned by Charlo. So, if he fights Charlo, I don't know. It depends on what
but
Charlo's condition is going into that fight. If he's not too depleted to go back down, I would favor Charlo. If Charlo is in the condition we've seen in the past, I say Charlo is a favorite. But at the same time, like the issue, Charlo is not to the same extent as Shakur, but he has been gun shy in those first fights because it's like he has to see it. It's like he doesn't trust his shit. He's way too athletic not to trust his shit. Sometimes you can't be like, I gotta see it first. You gotta trust what you've done and everything that your trainer has brought you through when he says double up on the jab or whatever it is, or fuck it, throw the hook. Throw the hook, man. Who cares? Like, you might take a hook, but your hook is hella better. Don't worry about that. He's got nothing for you. Sometimes you gotta trust him. And I think that's where Charlo falls short, because it's like he has to see it. And once he's seen it and he plays it back in his mind, he's like, I know what I can get away with. That's the confidence thing I was talking about with Shakur, because I feel like you don't believe your shit is that good, that you got to make sure, like, I got to spar all these guys and see what they got and make sure I got it before I throw mine.
yeah, and it kind of shows you that these fighters' confidence on a fight by fight basis. They still got to go in and feel you out. 'Cause I was just looking at Jamel when he went in there, he fought Canelo, and I was like, I was just for sure that Charlo was gonna give him a better fight than that. But of course, the size and the power and all that came into effect. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, damn. You know what I'm saying? It just humbled. It just humbled Jamel, and hopefully that don't affect him going back to 154. Hopefully he don't start acting like gun shy. We can get that old Charlo back to where who fought Castano and knocked him out, but these guys got to build up to that. You know what I'm saying? Fight by fight, they got to build up that confidence.
History's not on his side. History's not on his side, though. We've seen it with
no, Roy Jones. I know we've seen it. People go up.
We've seen it with what's his name, with Kell Brook. Kell Brook, after he took that L, even though that was a different type of L because he got his eye busted, but coming down in weight. But the good thing is, it didn't look like Charlo put on a whole bunch of muscle to fight Canelo. looked like he just let his water weight hang. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, because he wasn't as cut and defined and stuff,
but the
as he
issue
usually is.
with Charlo has never been his physical condition though, right? Like it's always been his mentality. That first Castano fight, he waited way too long. He let that guy come forward and push. He let Castano push him back to the ropes and throw those flurries, and everybody's like, ooh, look what he's doing. But when he pulled Castano into the middle of the ring and really started throwing that jab out there and putting Castano on his back foot, and Castano, you see, the other thing is, like, you got to remember in boxing, if you can remember the times that you fought somebody, there's an issue with depth perception, right? Like when you go to the back of the ropes, you're allowing somebody to focus, and you're making the target that much easier. It's not just the ropes. You're making yourself a stationary target because now they can easily identify where you're at, and you don't have as much room to move. So that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes you got to trust that offense. While I'm on that case, man, it's time for you to get on that Russell bandwagon. I'm telling you, Antoine Russell is the goods, bro. Every time I sit here talking about that shit and thinking about it in my mind, I hope he doesn't retool too much to try and be pretty like these other guys, man. Keep destroying these dudes. Forget about
Well,
that. If you got to get in there with like a Haney or Shakur and blow their ass out the water, forget about looking pretty. You don't got to do that. Get them out of there. And I'm just throwing out those names, but I'm just saying, whoever it is.
My thing about Russell is I just want to see him fight more often. And I heard he was offered. I heard he was offered the Pro Gate fight and the Matisse fight. And I want to see. I want to see all these fighters. I want them to be proactive. I want them to see them. You like really want to be the best. And I don't see that. Look like they just casually taking fights. You know what I'm saying? They being strategic, and that kind of make me question: do they think they can? They can win against the top level guys? You know what I'm saying? Because they're taking their time. They're trying to choose and pick. And I'm like, bro, no, he got the belt. Go for the belt. You know what I'm saying? Go to show that you're the best. You know what I'm saying? And with Russell, you know what I'm saying? With Russell, you know what I'm saying? I think he has the ability to beat these guys, but I want to see the desire to beat these guys. That's what I want. I want to see the desire.
Like, after you got to remember that, like, he fought what's the tall guy, man, why am I missing, I'm forgetting somebody, Bartholomew. When he fought Bartholomew, that was like a month or two away from the passing of his dad, and he still fought that fight, and he still got him out of there, even though people didn't really like it. So I don't know the guy personally, but I'm just telling you, I'm not sure that they even had time to really process the loss at that point. And I think that they had to take some time just to get their mind right. Like losing a parent, you can't underestimate what that does to a person. We've seen what happened with Tony Harrison after he lost his dad, who was also his trainer, which is the same situation. So, but he came back. He got his time. He came back. He fought this last guy, and he made him look like nothing. And the guy was undefeated. He was undefeated. And I know he wasn't there to be like a contender. It was clearly a tune-up. But all I'm saying is, from what he's shown you when he fought the guy after AB Santiago, when he fought Victor Postal, he outboxed Victor Postal. You could tell he got a little bit tired after a few rounds. He took a round off, came back, he outboxed him some more, and he got him out of there. Ranches Bartholomew, he played with that guy. Ranches Bartholomew didn't look good in his next fight. He wasn't pushing the fight because Bartholomew was scared. He's like, I got to get Antoine before Antoine gets me. That's why he fought like that. But anyway, I don't want to continue to talk about him too much. I just wanted to put that out there because he doesn't have a fight going right now, so there's no point.
You got it in. You got it in, bro. Bro. You got it
for
in.
comparison's sake, I'm saying get on the bandwagon now, bro. Let's push it. Matthias versus Russell, or Russell versus any of the champions, and better fights for the guys that we like to see. Forget about the names and stuff like that. Forget about, this guy got this backing and they keep talking about him. No, man, I don't need all that. If I was to compare this to like going into the club and you looking at a woman, I don't need the woman that everybody's crowding around. Give me the one that knows how to carry herself, that looks the part, that plays the part. I don't need anybody, you know what I mean? Like, I don't need all the clout that comes with it. Whatever I like, I'm going for that. Whoever's whoever's giving us what we want as boxing fans and is showing the real deal. I don't need all the frills and the hype. Give me the fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Same thing with Morrell. Damn. Morrell is the best at once. I know I said it on YouTube before anybody else. I said it out loud, or I typed it in the chat. I said Morrell's from probably his fifth fight. I said, man, this dude's not only the best at super middleweight, he's the best at light heavyweight too. He's
DJ
the best.
Black Charm in the building. What's going on, D? Trying to click him in. Let me see.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I didn't see it. There he is.
DJ Black Charm in the building. What's going on, my brother? Long time no see.
I know, man. I had to kind of pull up and holler at y'all. Salute to the chat and everybody. Yeah.
What's up, man? How's it going?
That much I had to. I see you pulled kind of live. I know he hadn't been live in a minute. I had only for the past few months only been listening, not commentating, or whatever, trying to see what boxing was about to go to, the direction it was going to go to, because I felt like the last super fight to me this year was Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, you know, and then I see them trying to build up other fights and stuff like that. But the people that they trying to build up, you know what I'm saying, for the matches and stuff like that is I don't know. I don't think the boxing, the matchmakers or the promoters are doing it right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I give y'all an example where I mean, like, although Shakur Stevenson was a championship fight, the fight before his was a little more exciting, or the type of crowd that it was. It seemed like that should have been the Navarrete fight. That should have been the headline. You know what I'm saying? Although they was fighting for a bit, I don't know. In my opinion, I feel like they trying to make new stars and stuff like that, and it's not going. It ain't going.
That's what I was saying. I said they trying to build. They trying to build these guys.
Yeah. And Navarrete didn't look like Navarrete and Shakur Stevenson don't look like they gonna. You know, I know they was trying to. That's the fight they want to try to brew up and stuff like that. But it didn't look like something that we would, as boxing fans, would want to go see. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who just swing out of nowhere. Somebody who another puncher who we feel elite, but don't really want to take risks. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I don't really want to see that. And then when I look at the heavyweights and stuff like that, I'm like, okay, I already seen that. We was talking about that earlier before the summer for kind of how Saudi Arabia, you know, trying to dump the money on these people. Yeah. And so I see that all them folk running over to Saudi Arabia. I'm like, they running for a check. It can't be for no stardom, because them matches don't look like, you know what I'm saying? They don't look like, I know Deontay Wilder finna whoop the hell out this man. You know what I'm saying? I know. Yeah, so I don't know, man. I just been sitting back saying I ain't gonna commentate. I'm just gonna listen to everybody else commentate and watch, man. And I've been enjoying a lot of the fights though, except for the last fight with Stevenson. I just thought he should have took a few more risks, just a little more. You know what I'm saying? Just a little more risk. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you got your YouTube on.
Oh, my bad. Oh no, that's my that StreamYard doing that shit, man.
Oh.
Dang.
I mean, you know that Shakur already beat Conceição though, right?
Yeah, I know that. Now I was saying they was trying to build, give Navarrete a showing. You know.
Yeah.
Like,
they've been building him for a while. They've been building on him for a while, man. You know what I'm saying? He escaped to a new weight class every time Stevenson, you know what I'm saying, was on his ass, bro. You know what I'm saying? Now he's safe. You know what I'm saying? He fighting more. I think he fight more often than most fighters. You know, every time you turn around, Navarrete got to fight. You know, so, you know, they really trying to push him to become a star. But, you know what I'm saying, his style, you know, he got a decent style, but he just needs the opponents, you know. Nobody really knows the opponents that he be fighting and stuff. They're not, you know, the little weight classes. You know, a lot of people don't follow those little weight classes like that, you know, unless he fighting somebody, you know what I'm saying, with a name. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he ever become a star.
Right. And then
the problem is, like, some of these guys aren't like Navarrete is not so technically sound. So when he go up against somebody like Conceição, who's an Olympian, he's going to expose you. But obviously, Navarrete can still punch. So that's how, you know, he got the 2 drops in, right?
Yeah, you know,
but
he
Stacey
look like
always
he awfully big for that weight class, man. That motherfucker's huge. You know what I'm saying, for that weight class.
Stacey was touching him up. He was touching him up so much to where I'm like, those 2 knockdowns helped Navarrete out, but the way Conceição was touching him up, I'm like, he might get a slight edge. You know what I'm saying? On when the judges they called it a draw or whatever, but the way he was touching him up, and I'm like, he ain't ready for no Shakur Stevenson to be touching him up like that. But then at the same time, that's what I was saying while I was watching it, right? But then when I watched Shakur Stevenson, I'm like, he ain't ready for them punches Navarrete gonna be hitting him with either. So, you know, I don't think that's you know how we all say styles make fight. I don't think that's gonna be a good fight. You know?
But I think like, you know, Shakur probably already fought Navarrete in his head, you know. I'm sorry, Paul. I hope I didn't interrupt you. Go ahead, man.
No, you good. No, you good.
You good?
No, I was just thinking about the Shakur Tank fight. I was like, you know, if he fight now, imagine Stevenson fight Tank the way he fought Dos Santos. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm just saying, man. You know, I don't see. You know, it ain't gonna be a fact that Tank can't beat him. It's just that I don't think Tank. You know, I don't think Tank gonna be able to catch up to him.
Oh, he'll catch him because he's smaller. He's smaller. He go ball up. And
I understand. I don't know what the hell that means because you know that boy. You saw how far he jumped back, man. I mean, he's like a cat.
His step back is so he create a distance that's so crazy. That's why I understand why he didn't take more risks. Like
because Dos Santos would knock his ass out. That's why he was worried about it.
Yeah, right. But
he can punch. That's why
they all got clipped. Pitbull clipped Tank. The Navarrete clipped. You know what I'm saying? Everybody get clipped, man. You know. They all get clipped. I ain't saying he should have took the clipping. I ain't saying he's supposed to take it to see if he can stand into it. But I mean, sometimes that's where risks take. Like, boy, they may catch me in the body. He may catch me in the chin. I don't know, but I'm finna try some shit. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Experiment. He good enough to experiment and try some shit out and to make adjustments. And he just looked like he wasn't willing to do nothing, bro. But what he was doing.
The only kid that I felt like should get more instructions is Brian Norman Jr. Him and his dad didn't know what to do.
Well, Kevin said he will be a champion. I think we probably talked. We've been talking across so many things. I don't know who he was referring to when he said he will be a champion. Probably talking about Tim Tszyu or something. I don't know. Somebody who will be a champion.
Tim Tszyu is a champion now. He's a full-fledged champion right now.
Yeah. So who were we talking about? You know, I forgot. Well, you know. I love to find out who you talking about, Cal. You know, so if you're still here, man, who you saying will be a champion? But that's a cheap way to get a belt, though, man. For Stevenson, to be the caliber of fighter we think he is, to get the WBA champ. See, when you win a championship belt like that, and it kind of denigrates boxing. You know, you get a championship off a performance like that. You know, we used to seeing the old heads are used to seeing guys. Like, you know what I'm saying, you know, going back and forth and like really, you know, it's almost life-threatening type battles to win a belt. And now they just going in there and pecking each other and boxing and, you know what I'm saying, just barely beating the opponent and they getting the belt, man. It's like, bro, you know, I would have snatched my shit. Like, nigga, you don't deserve no belt for that shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't deserve no damn belt for that, bro. I mean, you got to run that back, bro. If you're gonna get this belt, if you're gonna represent the WBC, we need to see more. And
no contest.
That's what.
No contest is right.
Yeah.
No contest. Yeah.
Right.
Not even a
you know what I'm saying?
No contest.
What do you guys think about Devin and Tank going in on Shakur performances? You know,
I was just about to ask y'all that. So I feel like now I think the 10% was a good jab. You know what I'm saying? It was a pretty good jab. But then Tank came back and told Devin, "That's what I'm gonna offer you." You know what I'm saying? So now at that space right there is like, shit, we got 10% on the table because Tank can say Devin kind of performed like Shakur Stevenson a little. He just got a little slight edge on him, hit a little more he got a little more excitement than Shakur. But I'm the excitement. I am the draw. You know what I'm saying? Tank can really look at Shakur Stevenson last performance and Devin Haney last performance and really stick his chest out, as he should. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't because of, in this point of his career, it ain't because of Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather did get his name out there, but his performances in the ring, shit. You know, now I know people who listen and say, well, he lost the belts on the scale, so he, you know what I'm saying, until he redeemed himself. Cool. You know, I get all that. But that reply he gave to Devin I think that was very much needed, because Devin feel like, you know what I'm saying, like he could come at Shakur Stevenson about his performance. Likewise, people feel the same way about Devin Haney. They feel like he hold a lot, or he run, and all that old stuff. So, you know, and I think those comments from Devin Haney and Tank Davis was based only on performance, not anything else.
Yep.
Yeah, they're just having a little fun, you know, online, because anybody who has if you have a real thought about it, to me, Haney was making fun of Shakur, but he was also kind of making fun of himself, because like, if you offer somebody 10%, clearly you don't want the fight. you don't want the fight at 25%. That was the whole joke anyway, because to say we'll offer you 25% when the WBC mandatory percentage is 30%, that in itself was a joke. It's like they're trolling. They don't want. To me, I could not take the Haney Shakur thing serious at this point, because I didn't believe either one of them wanted to fight at this time. They're just trying to generate some interest. They'll probably fight each other at welterweight. So I didn't even take sides on it. I really didn't care. But I don't think either one of them want anything to do with Tank. Just like I told you. Now, I used to believe that Shakur wanted to fight Tank. I don't think so now. I don't think it's realistic for him to fight Tank now. Because if he wanted to fight Tank, I don't think he would have put that performance on.
My opinion is he need to take what they give him, and if I was me, you know what I'm saying, I would, in it with all the confidence and all the bravado that he's showing, you know, say if he's such a badass, you know, take that. Like I was saying, he should have took Devin off and fought him. You know, just, you know, because you don't have the name, you didn't have the belt at the time, and that would put you on a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? Just go in there and face them, win or lose. It's not like they're gonna knock each other out. You know what I'm saying? What do you got to lose? I mean, you Shakur Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're not really bringing nothing to the table. So, but the name, he needs that Devin name. He needs that Tank name to put him on the next level. So he need to go in there. He need to, whatever Tank offer him. I don't care if it's 5%. I don't give a damn what it is. You know what I'm saying? This is about legacy. And it's a legacy fight. Devin and Tank are legacy fights. It will build him up. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, but watching this Del Santo fight, it's like, does he really have the confidence to fight those dudes? You know what I'm saying? You know, before I would say, yeah, hell yeah, Stevenson would fight any of them. But now, you know what I'm saying? Watching this, it's like, I don't know, man. It's like, would he take that Tank fight? I mean, even for 30%, for 40%, would he take that fight right now after this performance? You know what I'm saying? Or because I heard that dude Liam Payroll, like, put them hands on him, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how true that shit is, but if you look at Leo Pedro right now, he's running around the world like he just defeated Shakur Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? After that training camp. I mean, if you look at him,
that's what I was about to ask you. So because I hadn't did the research, but I just been hearing and seeing people caption on their video and stuff like Shakur Stevenson. So did he get hurt in sparring, knocked out in sparring, stopped, or what happened?
Man, I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Because people are leaving comments telling me that the reason why he's hurt or was injured, saying his shoulder hurt and all kind of shit coming out now. And you know, if you look at his demeanor, man, it's just like he just didn't have the same. He didn't look like Shakur Stevenson. He didn't look like the confident, cocky kid that we know. He looked, you know, he came in a little bit more humble, and you know, so you know, I'm just trying to figure it out, man. Did this dude like? And if you look at the clip that I showed where, you know, he knocked that dude out, I'm talking about Liam Pedro, he looked like he got a little pop, man. So he might have like dropped, he might have dropped Stevenson or something, inspiring or something a few times or something, and maybe took a little bit of his confidence away. I don't know what it is, but he's running around like he a A-list fighter now, and maybe he's just trying to promote himself. I don't know, but I mean, I would love for somebody, out of that camp come out and say something, what I'm saying, and say what happened, you know, because we never seen Stevenson like, you know, look this damn scared, what I'm saying, or was this cautious in a fight. And I just don't see that Stevenson beating Tank or, what I'm saying, maybe, what I'm saying, a stalemate with a Devin Haney. I could see that fight being a draw. Or I could see that fight being, what I'm saying, a high technical match, just like the one we just saw. So, I don't think we're gonna get no sparks out of it, you know. So, they could build it up all they want to. If he's fighting like that, what I'm saying, it's gonna be a snooze fest, for all both of the fights, I believe. What's going on, Andre? What's going on, Kevin Ringo, Mike Rhythm? I see all you guys, what I'm saying. We just chopping it up, trying to, what I'm saying, figure out what's going on with this little boring era of boxing. Mike Rhythm says, I believe he got hurt sparring. That's Shakur. That's what I've been hearing different things. Maybe he got his ass whipped by Lehman Pero, and it caused him to doubt himself. You know, let's see, Calvin Ringo. They're gonna never invite his ass back. Is that Calvin Ringo says, Steven had a good fight. It was his first time ever being hurt or come in sick. That was a mental thing he had to work through. And look at Boots' last two fights, big difference. Hmm. Well, maybe something was wrong with him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. He did look a little drained, his face and everything. When he did the interview, he kind of looked like a little skeleton or something. His face was a little drawn in. I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But all I know, I want them to run it back. I want them to run that back, and I want to see him do a whole lot better than he showed us. If he's gonna be that dude, if you're gonna wear the crown, bro, what I'm saying, you gotta act like a king, right? If you're gonna wear the crown, you gotta act like a king, and you gotta fight like a king. And that's what I want to see out of Stevenson. I ain't hating on him. You know what I'm saying? I just his little personality just kind of make you, look at him like, hey man, you gotta back up some of that. If you're gonna go
Right.
in there, you gotta back. You gotta show us something. Not we know you're a master of defense, but we need to see some offense. And I think all boxing fans should hold them to that. If you're gonna talk shit on Tank, if you're gonna talk shit on Devin, at least show that you're a dog in the ring. He says, what Cal say? Calvin Ringo say. He said that brother David Morrell Jr. will be unified, undisputed champion. A lot of people believe in David Morrell Jr. A lot of people believe in him, man. I see the athletic ability, I see the power, and I also see the talent. You know what I'm saying? But he just need to get in there, and he need to mix it up with some of the big names and stuff. Um, David Benavidez said he would give him a shot. He said if you don't get the Canelo fight, so you see he went on to fight Boo Boo Andre, which is a big step for David. Um, that's going to be a test for David, and if he can get by Boo Boo Andrade, that's going to say a lot for David Benavidez.
Yeah, it
Um,
will.
I mean, that's going to show you that he's not just the Mexican monster. That's going to show that he's a monster with some skills, bro. And David Morrell, that's going to be another test. So at 168, it's some good matchups. You might as well forget Edgar Berlanga. He's fighting that dude that just fought last night. Well, they're trying to set that up next to the Diego um, Pacheco fight. What I'm saying, that's going to be. I think that's going to be next for them too. Um, that dude, he fights just good enough to put a notch on Belanga's belt. I mean, but he's boxing right now. He's not power punching anymore. So that's going to be a pretty good little fight. What I'm saying, if you want to see some boxing, some good boxing, guys probably on the same level, that's going to be a damn good little match right there. So I'm definitely tuning into that to see if Belanga is he what I'm saying, has he retooled himself, and is he going to be able to make himself into a star? I probably doubt it. Not with all the names that's going on. right now in boxing. He'll be a good knockout punching bag for David Morrell Jr. He'll be a good
Mm-hmm.
punching bag for David Benavidez, but he's going to have to really show me something in his next fight. You know what I'm saying? Before I take him seriously. Before I take him seriously.
Yeah, this fight
Hmm.
right here with that's coming up with Andre. I ain't gonna call it no super fight, nah, that old stuff, but it will, it will to me close the argument for the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? Which one of Morrell need to line up with? I want to see David Morrell Jr. and David Benavidez get it on. Don't matter, no matter who win, but at the same time though, I want to see Andre shine for a while. So he got to put. You know what I'm saying? This is his moment to. You know what I'm saying, to show everybody that,
Hmm.
what I'm saying, he ain't fell off. And then at the
Well,
same time, this is David. This has been Benavidez's chance to show everybody that he arrived. So if
mm-hmm.
this shit is
Well,
boring, then ain't now one of them.
oh boy, you be killing me. You said it got to be exciting, huh?
Yeah, yeah,
Cavaringo
it got
said,
to be something, man.
well, I think David always gonna bring the excitement. He gonna try to knock your head off. So David always gonna bring it. You know what I'm saying? Because he's throwing punches and bunches and he's trying to beat you down. Cavaringo said, "Pool." He said, "I don't know if you guys talked about this, but where do Jamel Charlo go from here, and who should be the next opponent?" He got so many, man. But you already know what they're gonna push for. They're gonna push for that Tim Tszyu fight. You know what I'm
That's what
saying?
I
I don't
want to
know.
see.
That's got to be it, and that's got to be it because when he left the division, that's who they was trying to put on him, and you know what I'm saying. So he's coming back. So of course they're gonna want to see that black versus white dynamic he got going on, that kangaroo. You know what I'm saying? Australia versus United States type situation going down. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's gonna have to. Them kangaroos got some sharp claws now, so he can't be bullshitting. You got to go out there and knock shit out that kangaroo because he's strong.
Yeah, especially
Tim Tszyu,
after Devin Haney been talking shit.
yeah, I mean, he gonna have to really take Tim Tszyu seriously, man, because he's getting better and better. I don't know how the hell he keep landing that overhand right. I really don't. It's not super fast. He's gonna throw it, and I don't know why. Say a Campos and some of these other guys just stood there and let what's his name, Tony Harris. Why did they just stood there and just let like Tim
Tim's
just hammer him with the overhand left? I just don't understand it. It said you're not connected, device not connected. Oh, there you go. I don't know why he just they stood there and let Tim. It's like those showcase fights for him, and
mm-hmm.
but that's who's going to be next for Jamel because they want to get Jamel ass up out the picture, and they want Tim Tszyu to be undisputed. They want him to be the next undisputed champion. So at 154, I see it already. That's the playbook that I see them playing. Say Cal said he got love for David B, but I got Boo Boo. I'm saying? It depends on how much gas Boo Boo got left in them legs, man. If his
Yeah.
legs is okay, he'll beat David. But if his legs go during the fight, he slow down. It'll look something like Rasheed Ellis versus who was that beat what was that guy named Villa? When Villa beat Rasheed Ellis, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And he slowed down. He was beating the hell out of Villa. You know what I'm saying? But David got that sturdiness. You know what I'm saying? He's big. You know what I'm saying? He's solid. You know what I'm saying? He don't have a lot of power, but he got speed. He got combination ability, and he keeps coming. So Andre gonna have to use all that awkward movement. You know what I'm saying? That head movement and punching from power from different angles. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have to use all that for 12 rounds. He could if he's got anything left, he'll beat David Benavidez. But if he don't his legs go and he slow down, it's gonna look like a Caleb Plant go like a Canelo Caleb Plant type situation. You know what I'm saying? Where he's gonna get his ass beat. He's gonna turn old overnight, I believe. You know. But if he got anything left, he'll beat David Bina. If he got that old boo boo and you know what I'm saying, he's really training hard and he get his legs up under him, I think he'll outmaneuver David or he'll outbox him. You know what I'm saying? While he lands some big shots, have some big moments, I think David will corner him a few times and stuff, and David could be inaccurate at times. Boo Boo could make you miss. So it just depends on what version of Boo Boo Andrade we get. If we get him on his A game, he'll beat David. But if he ain't up to snuff, what I'm saying, David gonna tear his ass up, bro. The Mexican monster ain't a joke, bro. He is not a joke. Let's see what's going on, Andrew. He says they're not calling for Bud. He said they're not calling for Bud. I know that. You know what I'm saying? And
Oh,
he
talking
says,
about Jamel.
huh. Well, Bud said
Nah,
he don't
they
want that
playing
fight
Bud to
anymore.
the left. They already done took them belts from him. They playing him to the left. He need to find something safe to do. I knew they were gonna do him like that though. He ain't part of the crew.
Yeah, they was trying to strip his ass before he left. Shit, they were trying to strip his ass the entire time when he was hurt.
Yeah,
When he hurt his hand, they was trying to his left hand. He was trying to strip him. Jamel Wood says, if Jamel fights him, then the ring won't be small because he'll be a side and can get a bigger ring. He says, oh yeah, this is what I think too. Jamel Wood. He said Boo Boo going to gas out and Benavidez is going to beat him out of his shoes. That's what I think too. But if Boo Boo is if he got everything going, stamina, and he's trained up, he'll beat David. But if he turn old on our ass, David
yeah.
gonna do his thing. David is the monster. Them eyes gonna turn green. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
expecting them too.
You what now?
I said I'm expecting them to. If he like that. That's gonna show that David Benavidez arrived. Be like, I'm here, man. I'm tell you how bring me Canelo. Give me the, you know what I'm saying. Give me them big fights. You know. But then,
Let me give you. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
but hey, I'm gonna shut up after this. I'm about to say, but then at the same time, Andre got a chance to show these niggas, well, I ain't going no fucking well.
Oh man, I said, man, I think that's gonna be a hell of a fight, though, man. I mean,
Yeah,
we've been waiting for Boo Boo to fight somebody for a minute. So we're tired of the generic zone dudes. This is a good name for him. It'll be a good win for him. It'll put him back. Saying at the top of the list if he could beat David. David's at the top of the list, and they still don't want to fuck with David, and that's crazy. How
yeah.
Canelo just ignored this dude because he could do that. Because he's Canelo, he could do that just because of who he is and stuff, and that's unfair. Because they took Canelo off the market, trying to make him like a Floyd Mayweather, and I just don't see it. They
I
just
don't either.
they just set him up for a rack of victories in Europe, and gave him the gateway path to grabbing belts that he really didn't earn, and they placed him on a pedestal. They made a pedestal for him and sat him on it and said now he's beyond everybody. So to me, saying Canelo is in a weird place. Even though his fans, they support that garbage. Uh, I just don't think that he's ever going to give David or David Morrell Jr. a shot. I don't think he's going to give none of them guys a shot.
No,
But he want.
probably not.
hmm But
Probably not.
boxing, they allow that shit, man. They allow it. You know what I'm saying? They let that go down, man. And Canelo ain't a part of boxing. He's outside of boxing, and he do what he want to do, and that's what people starting to say, and people accept that. So I don't even know what to say about shit. I just be like, damn. That's why I was so excited to see Jamil get that shot. But look what he did with it, man. It's like, damn. You know,
Well, they want
I
that.
guess
Yeah,
it
They
he
is.
want
like
that paycheck. They
he
want
wanted
that
to be a
paycheck.
star. He thought it was his chance, like shit. Cause they try the whole year they've been trying to make a face of boxing and can't. You know what I'm saying? They failing at
Right.
it.
Well, they don't fight the opponents to become the face of boxing. They're not
Mhm.
going. Nobody's going through the gauntlet like EJ did, or nobody's going through the gauntlet like that. You know what I'm saying? They're not trying to take these tough fights. They're just trying to make money, and they doing that. Canelo done made, man. He done made money, man. He good for the rest of his life. He didn't go back to fight Demetrius Bivol. Nobody giving him shit about that. You know what I'm saying? You just took a loss, bro. You don't want that win back. No, he just ignored. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I lost. So what? Move
I
on.
mean, you got to remember that, like, when Canelo makes money, he's not the only person making money, right? There's
Mm-hmm.
other
Mm-hmm.
people that make money with Canelo as well. So
Mm-hmm.
they have their interests and their own business to protect as well. So, but I just wanted to say something real quick about the Benavidez Andre fight. If you remember, Benavidez didn't start looking good against Caleb Plant until Caleb Plant started tiring out. Like he was thoroughly getting outboxed, and he looked like he didn't know how to maneuver. Like he showed the desire to want to go forward, but he wasn't really effective until Caleb Plant became, you know, visibly diminished. So I just I'm not saying that he's not. I'm not trying to say that he's for sure he's gonna lose the fight or nothing. I'm just saying that I'm not so confident that he's gonna just beat up on Demetrius Andre because Demetrius Andre is a level above Caleb Plant in my opinion, and I like Caleb Plant a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah, but
I think
being active has a lot to do with say staying on that level. You don't just stay on that level because you're skilled. You got to be active. What I'm saying? It's a lot of things, a lot of ingredients come with staying on that top level and fighting at that top level. I think Andrade, had the potential to be one of the great fighters, one of the greats like a Bernard Hopkins or Lights Out Tony. I think he has that kind of pedigree in his arsenal, but he's got to make it. Like you got to you got to build yourself back up to that level, right? Because you're so inactive, because you're fighting lesser competition, and I think this going to be that fight that lets us know if Andrade is that dude. You know what I'm saying? Is he going to pull out those skills? Is he going to build himself back up to be that dude that we know he can be? And you know what I'm saying? So it's good. It's one of those pick'em fights. Even though I'm leaning towards David Benavidez, I think Andrade do have the skills and the ability to beat him. It just depends on what version of him that we get. You know what I'm saying? Are we going to get that surfer dude? You know what I'm saying? That weird ass, surfer dude where everybody's cool and what I'm saying? Or we going or are we
there's some
going
of
to
the
get the
European shit that with the tassels on the.
right? You know what I'm saying? Are we gonna get that dude that's bad his business? Let's get rid of this dude. He's not on my level. You know what I'm saying? And he got some cockiness to him. That's what I like about him. But that other side, man, that Oregon thing, he's got that Seattle shit going on, bro. It's like, he need to get rid of that. You know, stop going to Starbucks and you know what I'm saying?
You talking about Andre? Or you talking about
Uh,
Benavidez?
uh,
Benavidez is from
Andrade.
Seattle.
I'm talking about Andrade, man. He's weird, man.
I say one thing about David Benavidez and Caleb Plant fight is I understand what you're saying about it. When it went till Caleb Plant slowed up a little bit till he started punishing him. But I think the power that David Benavidez has is the skill to
Accumulation.
give you
Mm.
the skill to give you the shot that he wants you to take, like the shots that he know he can take, even though you feel like you getting off. You know what I'm saying? He know he can take those shots, and you know what I'm saying. And you gonna gas out after keep throwing them because you ain't understanding he can take those shots and not doing something different. And Caleb Plant kept doing the same thing, and Benavidez started after a while he started walking through it. You know what I'm saying? Because it started slowing down.
Yeah,
Yeah, and you got to think like this too. Caleb Plant is a 6 round fighter. Everybody know that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know that he's always good early, and kind of like Zab Judy, he's a front runner. So and he got nice skills. Everybody know he's highly skilled, but and he can move, but he's gonna gas out eventually. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know Canelo knew that. Everybody knew that about Caleb Plant. So you can always outskill somebody for 5 or 6 rounds. But what you gonna do for the rest of the rounds, right? So so what I'm saying is Andrade gonna be able to box for 12 rounds. Say at a consistent high level to where he can keep David off guard. Say can he get 7, 8 rounds in the bag by boxing and maybe hurt David in those 6 or 7, 8 rounds? You know what I'm saying? He'll have to get those rounds because David is going to consistently do the same thing for 12 rounds. That means coming at your ass like an assassin, like a Terminator, trying to corner you and put your back against the ropes and punish you. So if Andrade can move and he keep his legs, that's why I say he'll beat David. You know what I'm saying? Because he do have the veteran abilities to make you miss, to make to make you pay. If he could do that for 12 rounds, he'll beat David easy. You know what I'm saying? But if he can't, you know what I'm saying, we about to see a real ass whipping coming on our hands. That's what we're about to see.
The other side I think we have to think about, and you can't ignore this part, and that's what I was saying about Shakur and De Los Santos, is how much of a draw is David Benavidez? Because if they're counting on Benavidez to be their next guy, then Andre doesn't have a chance unless he really, really beats up David Benavidez. Because you also are fighting the judges, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Because we know Andre he's at the end of he's not at the very end of the rope, but he's on the back end of the rope, right? And Benavidez is not quite in the middle quite. He's not even quite to the middle yet. I don't think he's reached even the middle of his career. I guess it depends on his longevity, but the reality is he's just getting started. So that means the business is backing Benavidez. The side of it that can say, well, the business isn't backing Benavidez is the fact that they don't seem to want to make the Benavidez versus Canelo fight. And this could be another reason. This could be one of those fights that they put in Benavidez's way so Canelo doesn't have to fight him. Because if he loses to Andre, he's not going to get the Canelo fight. And Canelo already said he's never fighting Demetrius Andre. He said, "You fight nobody," right? You remember that payday,
right.
all that stuff.
You want payday? You want payday?
So he has already poisoned his own fan base against Demetrius Andre, maybe even before they already seen it. So they're like, "Oh, this Demetrius Andre guy, we don't even want to see him. He's not worthy because Canelo said so." Right?
And the thing, like you were saying, and you took a point I was about to make. You just made it. This fight, the judges, like you were saying, he's a threat to Canelo, and he putting pressure on Canelo, and people don't want it. His fans don't want that fight,
Right.
because Canelo don't. Yeah, they don't want that fight. So, like you say, the business of boxing is going to be against Benavidez to win this fight. They want David Morrell and they want David Benavidez. Even anybody who's putting pressure as a what you call it, an interim titleist. You know what I'm saying? Who is due to fight behind one of the belts that Canelo got, and they're a threat to Canelo and shit. They want them to fight each other. You know what I'm saying? To knock each other off the block, so Canelo have some kind of validity to say that I don't have to fight those guys. You know what I'm saying? Because them guys are losers. And so Canelo. If he could just go to he could fight a dude from a whole nother weight division from 2 weights down. That shows you what kind of power he has, bro. He don't even have to look their way. All he has to do is hold on to the belts, and the sanctioning bodies are not going to strip him because of the money he makes, the money he produces in his fights. So they're not going to strip him like they stripped Jamel or they stripped some of the other champions. The rules are not the same for Canelo Alvarez. You know what I'm saying?
But the WBC did say that if Benavidez wins, that's it. He's next up for Canelo. So that's what I'm like. I don't believe that side of it because Canelo can still reject the fight. But the question is like, are they going to there's always a lot of stuff behind the scenes that we don't see. So is Demetrius Andrade, is he playing on an even playing field, or is he playing where Benavidez is above him, or are they on the same plane? You know what you understand what what the point that I was making. So that's a big part of this, because if Demetrius Andrade wins, if he outboxes Benavidez for 7 rounds, and let's say the other 5 rounds are we could give it to Benavidez and the business is against him, then we know who's going to win that fight. Andre's not going to win that fight. Andre's not going to. But if they're on an even playing field, and Benavidez ain't that. There's a lot going on here, because you're not going, just like I was telling you about the Shakur versus De Los Santos fight. If De Los Santos was the same stature of Shakur, then Shakur doesn't win that fight.
Mm-hmm. I
He
see what you're
doesn't win.
saying.
Yeah, he doesn't. He
Yeah.
doesn't win that fight. He gets the benefit of the doubt. Well, man, that De Los Santos defense was on point, and he was really pushing the fight, and the other guy really didn't. Then the story would be that. That's the story that people will be singing because Shakur would have been the nobody, as opposed to De Los Santos. Kind of, I'm not trying to diminish him, but I'm saying like he's not the known product. He was the nobodies, so to speak. So
Okay, let's roll. He said I favor Boo Boo all these years and sticking with it with him. He says he gonna be fresh, have no worries about cutting weight. Andre by unanimous decision could very well be. You know what I'm saying? If he cut, like I said, it depends on what version that we get. Heisman think he thinks that Benavidez is on using PEDs and stuff. So
wow,
I mean, that's kind of a stretch, but I don't know because he always did throw a lot of punches. He said without gear, Canelo even gasses out, throwing power punches. How does Benavidez gases? How doesn't Benavidez gas? It's obvious, huh? Maybe you got a point. You know what I'm saying? Because when I saw Big Baby Miller, you know what I'm saying, goddamn near 300 pounds throwing all them punches, I said that ain't right. That ain't right. You know what I'm saying? I just like he too big to throw all them damn punches the whole damn round. Um, Andre Smith says, that's what I heard too. He said, but what if Andre wins? If he wins, it's gonna be a problem because he really gonna put that pressure on Canelo. People gonna really want to. The hardcore boxing fans gonna want to see that fight. He said they are going to rob. We have to speak up before the fight happens. It just depends on what kind of performance he put on. You know what I'm saying? He can't go out there putting on no lackluster performance, because he already know that people don't believe in him like that. I'm talking about the mainstream. You know what I'm saying?
hey,
He's not a mainstream fighter. Go ahead.
hey, Paul,
I'm gonna
can
slide
I
out,
help?
Paul, man. It was good seeing you, man. And my other man, what's your name?
Oh, Bole.
Boule.
You don't
Okay,
remember
yeah, Boule.
Bowling?
Yeah, what's up, man? I ain't talked to you in a while, but it's good seeing y'all, man. I'm gonna slide out, Paul. I'm listening from the chat.
It's
All
good
right
talking
then.
with
All
you.
right. All
All
right.
right.
Hey,
All right, DJ.
let me help the last guy out that had that comment about Andre. If you notice, what I told you is, and I'm going, and I forgot to point this part out. The WBC didn't say if Andre wins, he'll be next for Canelo. They said Benavidez if he wins. So that was my point. They didn't mention anything about Andre is fighting for his own self in this fight and for whatever
Mhm.
check he gets. They didn't say anything about Andre getting a Canelo fight. They said Benavidez will be next for the WBC title. So
Yeah, this is a good point. Andre Smith making. He said Canelo didn't even sit down in his last fight with Charlo, bro. He didn't even sit down. So but we already know what time it is when it comes to Canelo. We already know what time it is. He said if he never did cocaine, I would believe you once you put drugs and you will dip into pigs. Yeah, yeah, that, I mean, I don't know. I think maybe, because he was like 22, 21. Them guys, when you're young like that, you make some bad decisions. I'm saying I don't believe the whole PED things with David, but I think he's a super young guy. He's still a young guy, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to remember that he's still young. He ain't no old guy. He just been in the sport a long time. Hasman says all Mexicans that got caught with cocaine use PEDs. Look at Tyson Fury. What the hell? He ain't Mexican. I mean, did I miss the question or something? Said all Mexicans that got caught with cocaine. He ain't Mexican though. I'll get your point, but he ain't Mexican though. I mean, I know what you're saying. Said Les Rose said Stevenson versus De Los Santos should have been a draw. That's what I think too. I think it should have been no contest. Shakur did not even beat that Dominican. I think so too. It says Andre Smith says Mexican got the best P, and yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what kind of game plan um Demetrius Andrade come in there with. I mean he's really got to show, he's gonna have to show the boxing world that he's still on the A list, man. I mean when he ducked J-Back. I thought that would have really showed us something. He fought all those no names on the zone and Janabak. When he came up, I said, okay, that's gonna be the fight. That's gonna be the fight to let us know that Andrade is still that dude. And Billy Joe Saunders, say if he would have got that fight, I think that would have blew his name up. So it's almost like he's being blackballed because every time you get a good opponent, it never works out. It never works out.
He didn't duck. He didn't duck that. Man, he
Tell him
didn't
back,
duck. He
Janabak.
didn't duck no. He didn't duck no Janabek, man. That is
Hey, keep it,
ridiculous. I
keep it,
mean,
keep it going. I got a phone call. Keep it going, Bowden.
oh, okay, yeah, man. He didn't duck Janabek. People were trying to build up Janabek and whatnot, and the reality is like, Andre had his time in that division. He was supposed to fight Joseph Parker, who was a division up. He got hurt. He came back, and they offered him like $1 million less. So, if somebody's gonna ask you to come to another country and fight, and at first they're offering you 1.2 million, and the next time they're offering you 180,000, nobody's gonna stand for that, and you still got to pay taxes in both countries. So that's essentially where that lies. You can't go anywhere else with that scenario. You got to read in between the lines sometimes. We can't always believe what people are telling us, and we have to just do a little bit of investigating, and you just come up with the truth. Hold on, give me 1 second, chat, for me to pull up the chat so I can converse with you guys, because you may not want to hear what I have to say in general. Andre Smith, Mexican got the neck. Okay, well, yeah, he already read that. Shakur versus Stevenson should have been a draw. So yeah. Anyway, that's where I'm at with all of this stuff. I'd like to hear some of you guys' feedback. Otherwise, I'm gonna go into what I want to go into. Sorry to get off topic. Shakur fight
My
was the last
bag.
fight on the contract with Top Rank. I think he's gonna come back with Top Rank. I think
My,
I heard him say that there's one more fight with Shakur has one more fight with Top Rank after this. Yeah, it's not his
yeah,
last.
this is his last fight with
No,
Top
he got
Rank,
one more.
and he
He
got
got
one
one
more.
more.
I thought
One
this
more,
was his
yeah.
last fight. Okay, well, you know what I'm saying? Shit, he could go to the zone. I think the zone will take him. I
Shakur?
think Eddie. Yeah, I think Eddie will take Shakur.
I
You
think
know what I'm
Shakur I
saying?
think Shakur I think Shakur wants I think he wants to go to the PBC side, because, now that Terrence Crawford made his money with in his last fight with PBC, I'm sure he's giving him the tour and say, oh, it's like this, it's like that,
Yeah.
this is how you got to do it, and man, this is all you got to do. Don't worry about this. And I would suspect that it would be PBC, but I could be wrong. Especially if
Well, now we.
PBC is going to have some new money from somewhere. We know they're going somewhere, right?
Yeah, now that we see Showtime is out of the picture. We've been hearing this for a while, but I mean, I heard something about they going to Prime, to what is it called, Prime Network.
Yeah,
You know what
I'm
I'm
not
saying, to
sure.
promote.
I heard a lot of rumors. I heard Amazon. I heard
Yeah,
Peacock.
Amazon Prime, Amazon
I heard
Prime. Mhm.
Peacock. I heard DAZN. Nobody seems to know. I mean, whoever, and the people that know aren't talking. So we just got to wait and be patient.
Well, I mean, it's going to be some kind of streaming going on out there, and it's a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of them that they could choose from. But I brought Showtime just for the PBC, boxing,
Right.
and
Right.
I just sure hate it, because I seen some damn good fights on that app. The Zone rarely has a fight that I want to see on that app. So I keep my ESPN, you know what I'm saying, just in case, what I'm saying, they have something good, but shit, what I'm saying, I'm kind of sorry that Showtime bowed out. But with all these shitty ass fights going on, it's going to be hard, man, to get the fans to come back, man. People are tired of seeing
Showtime
the
got out
same
of
old thing.
Showtime didn't just get out of boxing though. They got out of sports in general, and I think that Showtime actually, as a network, is going to be done. I think they're just going to fold it into the Paramount Plus, and it's
Hmm.
just going to be Paramount Plus. It's not going to be there's not going to be any Showtime at all. That's what I'm guessing.
Says Les Rose said Canelo with his matchmakers would not be fighting Andrade or Morel or Benavidez. I already said I just said that earlier. You know what I'm saying? We already know how Canelo moves. So, sometimes it's like pointless to talk about Canelo because we know he's kind of like an exhibition fighter, you know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like he's
Yeah,
on that level. Yeah, it's not like he's gonna like really fight a dangerous fight. Uh it's just sad, man, that and it looked like that's what these guys are trying to build themselves up for, to be on that Canelo level. It kind of hurt my feelings when Tank said he was like he's like Canelo and shit. I said, bro, you don't want to be Canelo, man. He wanted to wear Canelo gloves and shit, and I'm like, man, why not wear Floyd gloves? Why you don't want to wear Floyd gloves, bro?
doesn't
You know
it
what I'm
feel
saying?
like if you want to watch like a real um if you want to watch real competition, that we gotta like I'm starting to think that maybe I should just start going to the amateur competitions and
Mm,
start watching the amateurs because at least you know that everybody's going to fight everybody, and maybe the decisions won't be fair in some cases. The politics happens in the amateurs as well. But
hmm
if they don't want the best to fight the best, then maybe the amateurs is where it's at because you're going to get 3 round fights. Those they're going to be pressed to get the decision, which is going to make for a more exciting fight.
Well, I mean, you can watch both. You know what I'm saying? Why not watch both? You know?
I mean, the difference is like you know, I don't know, man. I'm just
I
you
know, I
know,
know, I know that feeling, man. It's like sometimes you can
yeah.
take boxing, or sometimes you can take it or leave it, man. You're like, God damn, another bullshit ass matchup. Says Jermaine Wood says Shakur not going nowhere. He says he signed to Jay Prince, and Jay Prince deals with Top Rank. Says Shakur gonna have to leave him, and don't know what's in that managerial contract he has with Jay Prince. Jay Prince got a long track record, bro. You know what I'm saying? He ain't just a promoter. That motherfucker a little bit of everything. Gangster. You know what I'm saying? He go way back to the Tyson shit with them boys that so dope. Go back all the way back to the 18. You know what I'm saying? That dude go way back, man. He kind of like he's kind of like what's his name? Bob Arum. You know what I'm saying? He go
if the
back.
if the business
Yeah.
makes sense, I mean, you never know. Like he might, if it makes sense for Shakur and Shakur likes his management, maybe his management will go with whatever Shakur decides. Right? You never know.
He said Les Rose says Shakur better get his shit together. Say he got less than 2 weeks before Haney's calling him out after defeating Regis. He's an imposter wearing a secondary belt. Okay, was that for the did Haney drop the belt? So was that for the interim WBC belt?
No, Haney was stripped.
Okay, so that was for the WBC belt. Okay, so Les Rose says Canelo need to go unless he fights Andrade versus Benavidez winner. He says I'm done with that guy. He said his history's phony. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. It's a damn shame too because Canelo could have been, saying he could have been a Julio Chavez. You know what I'm saying? Who even Julio Chavez, some of his legacy is tainted too. So if you really think about it, nobody's got a pure track record. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's, saying maybe a few guys, but then they took losses like they supposed to. Anytime you see fighters that don't have defeats, you know what I'm saying? It's something wrong with that because we know naturally that if you fight top competition, you're gonna lose to somebody. Somebody gonna always have your number. Lomachenko lost to Orlando Solido. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just gonna happen, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna always come into a boxing match with all your abilities intact. You know what I'm saying? You're always gonna have an off day. You know what I'm saying? So if you totally undefeated for 50 fights, bro, that's extremely rare. So when you see these guys coming in with undefeated records and shit, you know what I'm saying? That's just fake, man. They're not fighting the best. So Jay Priest doesn't deal with Al and Floyd. I didn't know that. Didn't know that. But with their egos, with the ego of Floyd, you know what I'm saying, and Al, you know what I'm saying, I can see them not really, like really mission. And Jay Prince is super independent. He don't like He don't like mixing his money with nobody. So, you know what I'm saying? Unless he, you know what I'm saying, he can control the situation. So, what's going on inside the square circle? I know you got something to say about David. I mean, about Devin Haney and Tank
Oh,
giving
yeah,
your
I haven't
boy the
spoken in a
business,
while.
giving Steven the business about his performance. Let inside the square circle with King. Let him come up and let y'all know what time it is. God damn it.
Oh
You know what I'm
no.
saying? Yes, sir. You got what's going on, King Judah? I know he got something to say. Um, but yeah, I like the fact that he getting a little taste of his own medicine. You know what I'm saying? He's like a little barking poodle on the outside, you know what I'm saying, barking at everybody's performances. Now he's had a bad performance. Now he got to feel it. He got to take that medicine, man. He got to drink that coffee. You know
How
what I'm
about
saying?
from the how about from the betting
Mhm.
side? Do you like I think Regis is like plus 300 or something, somewhere in that range. You like Regis at plus 300 versus Haney?
Uh, to me, it's a pick'em fight. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I don't know where Regis is right now.
That's not what the
As
betting
far
odds
as
are saying. The betting odds got Haney at like I would say I think Haney's like minus 380 or something like that.
nah, I think that's too much. I think that's too much. You know, that's disrespectful. That's disrespectful, man. You know, Regis is a he's a damn good champion, man. You know, he's a good champion. You know, they acting like he trash or something. You know, he is not. You know, that Devin Haney is the one that's moving up. Devin Haney is the one who has something to prove. Regis is already the champ. You know what I'm saying, at 140. So, you know, they got to put some respect on the champ name, man. You know, Regis is not some bum. You know, I mean, the only thing I hate about Regis is the cornrows. That's it. You know, everything else, he is fine. He's a good, solid champion. You know what I'm saying? Devin, you know what I'm saying, he cannot box Regis, but hopefully it won't be a victory like Shakur just did to Dos Santos. Hopefully he make it more definitive if he wins against him. Hopefully he separates himself. Um, but he's going to run the risk of getting knocked out because of the way he do fight sometimes on the inside, the way he leaves his jab out there at times, you know, reaching and stuff like that. So that's why this fight's gonna be exciting because Devin takes more risks than Shakur. You know what I'm saying? And he likes to prove himself too. He has that Napoleon complex about his power. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he really worries about not having the power or showing the power. King Judah says, I'm riding with my homeboy. He said this music loud as fuck. He said if you still on when I make it home, I'm gonna hop on. Okay, bro. And let's see. Jermaine Wood says, can we stop with it was an off night. He said Shakur shouldn't doesn't like power punches. If he fights Tank, the same thing would happen. Yeah, that's what I think too. I think I
You
think
remember
I think
we
it's
had this discussion.
hmm
Remember we
say
had
what now?
this. You remember this was like maybe the last few lives that I was on with you like a few months ago. We were talking about it. We compared the three. We said who you think's going to win between the three of them. And this is why I thought that Tank would win by decision against Shakur. And that's why I thought that Haney would beat. Honestly, I said I think Haney. I would edge Haney over Shakur because Haney's more aggressive. But at the same time,
But
like I think
that could
Shakur.
work against him with Stevenson because Stevenson, you know, that's what he depends on. That's what really messed him up in this Del Santos fight, right? Because Del Santos saw, you know, how Devin was looking for the overreach. He wanted to beat him to the punch. He was trying to time him on his front foot, and Dos Santos caught on to all that because his high boxing IQ. That's why it was a boring fight because Dos Santos wasn't willing to, you know, what I'm saying, let him set him up for the counters and stuff, you know, or you know what I'm saying, or preemptive punching, you know what I'm saying, because he knew that when Dos Santos moved forward, you know what I'm saying, the punch. So DeSanto just started hanging back and counter punching too. So he was like,
Yeah, but
you
Tank
know,
has defense too, and Tank is harder to find because he's so small.
hmm
Like you're not Tank is not an easy is Tank can be elusive if he wants to. He's shown that he's gonna be
yeah,
and all he has to do on Shakur. is get into that Mike Tyson zone. Remember how Tyson used to swivel from side to side, and he would be moving his head, and he would be bobbing and weaving, and while he's bobbing and weaving, he's moving in, and before you know it, just like when I was watching that fight, I said, man, it was clear what punch that De Los Santos needed to throw. It was the right hook, and he hit Shakur with that right hook, and then Shakur got angry and hit him with another right hook as well. So that, I don't know, man. Like, it depends. I think that Shakur is more comfortable with Haney because they've sparred so many rounds and he's known him from since he was young. So that's what makes that fight maybe a little bit more like Shakur. Remember, I was saying that I don't think Shakur's issue is not his skills. I think the confidence. He will have more confidence against Haney, and that might give him a little edge over Haney. But Haney looks like he has grown, and he has shown the willingness to come forward. That's why, I mean, I think overall, I don't know. That's why I believe that, people laughed at me. I said, I think Haney can beat Shakur. Hey, this is why, and this is why. That's why I said that, because I'm not looking at like, I could care less. You can sing the praises of these guys. I'm just gonna look at what I see on the screen when I watch. I don't see all the sparring and stuff like that. I see what they put out on the fights, and that's what I'm judging based upon. So that's all you can go off of. And those lights are different, right? We know there's guys, just like people were talking about Randall, like, man, Quentin Randall, he could do this, he could do that. I don't have any doubt when that man spars, he's a great sparring partner, and he's able to hang and survive with the best of the best. He showed that because he survived against Norman. But what happens when it's time to put that offense on? When it's your turn to shine, because it's not just about the defense, right? And it's not just about making it to the end. It's also about beating the other guy up. That's the name of the game, essentially.
Well, my thing, what I'm seeing and I'm gathering from the, the entire atmosphere of Shakur Stevenson is that I think his mystique is damaged. The mystique of him being this master boxer, him being this dominant master. I think the mystique is just a little hurt. I think it's a little damaged because before, every time you see him with Crawford, you kind of like place Crawford skills onto Stevenson, right? And it's almost like he has that same kind of mystique where he can outthink you, he can outbox you, he can beat you many different ways. And now that I think that's kind of gone with this fight with Dos Santos. Like, I think Devin, he looks a little more human. In the ring. With Tank. So I think he looks more beatable, and that's gonna hurt Devin going into these fights. Him not having that sense, that era of invincibility where you can't touch him, you can't do nothing to him. That he'll outthink you. He's just a better overall fighter. I think all that shit is out the window now. I think they're ready to get in there with him. I think they're ready to get it on with them. And sometimes you need a fight like this to get those fights.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
But which way is Shakur going to go then? If we're painting it in that light, is he
Devin?
is Shakur gonna go to where the smoke is? Because we had this issue this is the issue we had with Crawford in 2018, because we all wanted to see Crawford versus the best. That was the issue. It's like, are the fights there for him at Top Rank? That was the issue, right? We said no,
Right.
he needs to go to PBC, but he decided to stay and stick it out. And COVID happened, a lot of other things happened, but everybody got frustrated because we didn't see that fight that we wanted to see at that time. So now with one fight left, see, they're the ones painting this picture. They're saying he's got one fight left. He said, I'm gonna look at my options. Well, most people, the boxing fans, the real boxing fans who watch Shakur, who are gonna stick with Shakur, like like yourself and myself, who will stick with him regardless of whether people say he's boring or whatever he is. We're gonna watch his fights. Is he gonna stay at Top Rank and fight like Muratalla or or maybe Tiafimo, or is he going to go for the big bag? Is he going to go for the tanks and for like the dangerous fights? Is he going to go for the Matias? That's a division up. Is he gonna maybe say, you know what, I'm a rematch De Los Santos like you're saying, which I don't think is going to happen, but maybe or Frank Martin. He had issue with Frank Martin. He's talking stuff with Frank Martin. Don't give me the. I don't have Twitter. Don't give me the Twitterverse. I don't need the Twitterverse. You know what I'm saying? I'm not into the Twitterverse. I'm paying to watch what's going on in between the ring, whether it's on television or going to the fight live. So that's where I'm at. I can't wait to see what's next. Either way, like either way, like I told you, there's space for what Shakur and De Los Santos did. It's just not in prime time. Okay, it has to be pushed to another time slot. You can't be keeping people up late at night on a weekday for that type of stuff, man. Come on now. I know that was a corporate event and all that, but even that, come on now. that's not fair at all.
Well, I mean,
that was my issue as a coach.
I mean, I just think Shakur just missed the opportunity. You know, he just, maybe he was sick or maybe, saying he had some issues going on, but it definitely was an opportunity missed for him to make his name bigger and endear himself into the boxing fans. And, he's already kind of building a reputation to be kind of like somebody you really don't like, you know what I'm saying? Because all this pump faking and all this talking he doing and, you know what I'm saying, and you go in there and you can't back it up. It's a bad look, because he's right there on the cusp of becoming a star. And this was the fight, I think, he kind of messed up, so he's making those Crawford moves. You need to get away from Crawford, man. You know what I'm saying? Because he's making Crawford moves and I think it's affecting him because he can't fight like Crawford. You know what I'm saying? He don't have that inherent dog inside of him. Well, we'll see for this fight, I'm going to say, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's just where I don't know what happened, man, to him, but, it was just
more money. He signed with Reebok, right?
Well, I mean, money and fighting different.
And then he got that drink deal. I don't know who owns that Prime drink or whatever, but him and Crawford were wearing those Prime hats. It's like I think it's like an energy drink or a sports drink. I'm not sure. So that means that he's got corporate backing. And then that fight was on a Thursday because it was like an event for the Formula One people, right? That was their explanation for why the fight was on a Thursday in November. Because usually in November, that's when they have what Top Rank used to do is they would have the fight in conjunction with the Heisman ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't sound like they're doing that this year, or they're going to use a lesser fight. Because remember they used to do that with Crawford. They did it with Tiafimo. This time around they did Formula One. But I don't know.
No, whatever the reason, if you're going to be represented, if I'm Reeboks shit, I want my money back. You know what I'm saying? If I'm goddamn, whoever the other people you're talking about, I want my money back because I ain't paying for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't even put my shit on. Don't wear my chain. Don't wear my shoes.
He got belts from other divisions, so he's already proven. He's more proven than Ryan Garcia, and Ryan Garcia got himself a Gatorade deal.
Yeah, but I mean, you already know what time it is with Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? He's marketable. I'll put it that way.
Shakur is too. That's what I'm saying. Like, Shakur is marketable as well. So that was my point about which way is he going. Is he going the way of the commercial? Like sometimes
that's exactly the way.
You can
that's
exist.
the exact way you're going.
You can exist in both worlds but the question is, as a fighter, is he going for the fights, like for like what the boxing fans would like to see? Like, is he going to go for that tank fight or for some of those other fights that we've been talking about? Like, is he going to?
Well, then you just see him say that y'all can't break me. Y'all can't break me. Who the hell are you talking to?
Breaking him.
Shakur. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So he
all you have
making
to do is turn off social media. Just turn off your social media. You won't break. You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about that. That doesn't.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Social media doesn't need to be a part of his mental makeup. Give the Twitter phone to your friend or something, and let them talk shit.
Keyshawn already talking about calling himself the businessman. I think that's his little moniker, calling himself the businessman. You know what I'm saying? So they all about, it's nothing wrong with being about business, but at the same time, they're getting further and further away from the legacy side of it. And, you still haven't finished building your name yet, bro. You still haven't fought the opponents yet. You know what I'm saying? These little itty bitty opponents that they get, they trying to act like it's a whole career, it's a whole legacy. And maybe I'm just an old head, and I'm just used to seeing these fighters fight like really tough competition to build a name. But now they're trying to build names in different ways. They're trying to use these little sub fights to push their name like they the greatest, and fighting different dudes in different divisions, becoming fighting the weakest name for a belt. You know what I'm saying? That shit's just kind of disturbing to me because I mean, I'm looking to see the best fight the best, and to me, that was a cheap way to get a belt. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care about your promotions. I don't care about Prime and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I want to see you fight good competition. You know what I'm saying? I want to see you deserve it, deserve to get that belt. Who's going to honor him as the WBC champion besides the dudes that put him there in that fight and gave him the victory?
Man,
Who
it's a different
You know what I'm
generation.
saying? It ain't gonna be
But in
like,
their mind,
man, Stevenson is the WBC champion, man. Who he gonna fight? They got to go through the business. Is the shit worth it? Is it marketable? They got to go through all that shit instead of like, hey, man, such and such is the number one contender. Boxing ain't that way anymore. So it's kind of like that's why you got to sit back and wait for something to pop. You know what I'm saying? You could talk about a fantasy. You could talk about Gary Russell and Matisse, but how realistic is that fight? You know what I'm saying? We don't even know. You know what I'm saying? But whereas before,
see,
what I'm saying, everybody be talking about that shit, it'll be, what I'm saying,
they're
you
calling
can't
each
help
other out.
but get that fight.
They're calling each
Yeah.
other out. So Russell called him out. Russell called him out. He said, he said he has one more fight, and then I want that fight." And then Matias said, "Oh no, and I saw you in person and all this." And he said, "Well, I'm gonna call you out after my next fight." So we'll see. Matias still has to get past Ergashev, and Russell still has to get over whoever he's fighting next. So there's still a ways
Let
to
me
go.
see.
But I'm
King
just saying,
Judah,
don't go ahead.
let me see. King Judah said, if you watch them sparring, he said Devin is fast enough and his jab is good enough to trap Shakur on the ropes consistently. He said people sleep on Devin's ability to back his opponents up. And let me see what's going on that holy boy. What's happening? He said, "Yo, yo, you talking to me?" And uh, he said, "Shout out to the panel and chat." And let me see, King Judah comes back. He said, "I agree. For a lot of the new Shakur fans, only follow him because they hate Devin and they never really watch Shakur. They never really watch Shakur, and for a lot of them, this was their first time seeing Shakur." He said they were disappointed. It says, "Let's roll." Says, he says, Bob Arum might easily tempt him with Loma. Uh, just get it out the way. I think he'll beat the shit out of Loma because he's small. He don't really, what I'm saying, hit hard like that. And Loma's long in the tooth, man. He's slowing down, so that he'll be perfect for Stevenson to eat up right now. So that would be a good confident builder too, and then he'll have a comparison fight. Say because if he could beat Loma worse than Devin, then all of a sudden there'll be a dynamic between them two. He can in a common opponent. He can say, "Man, I put more hurt on Loma than you did," so that'll be a reason for the fan bases to put Stevenson over Devin before they fight. So let's roll.
No,
So that's what'd you say?
and I was gonna say he'll probably only get that Loma fight if he resigns because Loma is like he's like their high end he's their
Yeah,
high end journeyman. He's their high end journeyman at Top Rank. That's what I call him. To me,
but he
that's who
got
he
one
is.
more fight, so that could be that fight. That's what they're saying.
No, but
That could be.
why would Top Rank do that? Why would Top Rank do that when they still have they wouldn't do that if they know that Shakur is going to leave. Like if they know Shakur is leaving, like why would you give him Lomachenko? Because you can
Mhm.
put Lomachenko. you could put Lomachenko in with your next guy who might be like Muratala or Keyshawn Davis, right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, he might have his eyes on the PBC, and like that fight definitely ain't gonna happen if he's open to that. You know what I'm saying? If he's eyeing the PBC right now and trying to make money over there, and but I don't think PBC got anybody for him to fight though.
They got a hell of a lot of guys. He could fight Frank Martin. He could fight what's his name, Pitbull. He could go
Let's
fight
see.
Russell. He could fight Matthias. He could fight
Oh,
Tank.
okay.
He
Matias
could
with the
fight
PBC.
Tank. Yeah, he fights on PBC. He's fighting on the. He's on the
Yeah, I don't know
Benavidez
what the hell
card.
I'm thinking. I don't know what
Yeah,
the hell I'm thinking. You're
he's
right.
on the Benavidez Andrade card.
That's right.
So
Shit, I don't know what the
there's
hell
a
I'm
hell of a
thinking.
lot of guys he could fight on PBC.
Yeah,
Especially
you're right.
that was my point. So that was my point with
I don't know. When I think of Tank, I don't think of him being with the PBC. You know what I'm saying? I keep thinking of him. It's like the same shit with him being on the floor. Well, with Floyd on that side, but I don't. I'm not clear on that. Is he free of Floyd, or is he on his own, or
it don't
what
matter.
the
He still
hell?
doesn't. I mean, Tank every time Tank fights, he fights on the PBC card. So to me, I just look whether Floyd's there or not. I mean,
Yeah, you're right.
doesn't really
You're
make a
right.
difference. He fights with PBC. So and that's where he's
That's
been
right.
making his money. And the
Yeah, but
guys that are.
but
Hmm?
if he do, it'll probably be like a 2 fight deal, probably like a 3 fight. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. You know what I'm saying? You think you know what I'm saying? Like
Talking about
if he
Shakur.
goes over to yeah, Shakur, if he signs,
Mm,
probably like a 1-2 fight deal, something like that. Because I think Top Rank, they try to lock you in. You know what I'm saying? PBC are more contractual. You know what I'm saying? Like just for a shorter period of time. You know what I'm saying? So just like they
I
got
don't
Crawford.
expect Shakur to go to PBC. By the way, I don't think. So. I don't know why because I think I'm going off of
Well,
the past
I mean,
experiences
his
with.
mentor, if he's close with Crawford, and if Crawford, like you said earlier, if he's giving him the inside, what I'm saying, the inside scoop on how PBC is doing business, he making a lot of money over that shit. He might bring Shakur on with him. You know what I'm saying? He might bring him on over. You know what I'm saying? Or convince him or persuade him to go ahead and make a few deals and maybe get that Frank Martin fight. Cause
That would be a good
that
that'd be a good fight.
yeah, that'd be something. That'd be another opponent that's athletic. That'd be another opponent who got good skills. Somebody who the boxing fans respect. That Shakur can get in there with. You know what I'm saying? And if he could get a good win or even a loss. You know what I'm saying? He fought somebody that was, not a scrub. You know what I'm saying? Not somebody he could just go. People are tired of looking at these guys going there and dominate motherfuckers. Just going in there, already know before the fight happened, you already know who's gonna win. You know what I'm saying? People are tired of that, man.
Right.
Especially the hardcore boxing fans. We want to see a challenge, and that's why boxing is kind of like died down because we're not seeing the challenges. Now Benavidez and Andre Ward. Now that's a challenging fight. You know what I'm saying? That's a challenging fight. You know, that's something we want to see.
Let me give
Um,
you another fight. Let me give you another fight for Shakur that you wouldn't even think about, but is definitely a possibility. Rolly Romero.
mm,
Rolly Romero is
oh,
like he's a
man, get
perfect
out of here. Yeah, hell no.
perfect foil. You know why? You know why it works out? Because Rolly's he's gonna build up the fight. He's gonna talk it up. We know he doesn't have a chance, but those casual fans are gonna be, oh yeah, Rolly, he's gonna talk all types of crap. Shakur will have the confidence to go forward and fight with Rolly. Rolly does have punching power, right? And now his
Hmm.
chin seems to be softened up. He seems vulnerable. He didn't seem vulnerable before Tank. Now he does seem vulnerable, after the last few fights. So
Who you say
that's
Rolly didn't seem vulnerable?
no, like his chin didn't seem vulnerable
Oh,
before.
oh yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you didn't see him get hurt, really hurt against anybody. Like when he fought Marinez, Marinez was boxing his head off, but he wasn't hurt in that fight. He just was getting outboxed. But after Tank and after the
Because it's
Jahan Hingham,
it's hard to
after
hurt special kids, man. You know what I'm saying?
oh, who said that? Are you
Eh,
saying? Or are you reading something in the chat?
no, I just said that.
Oh,
Something.
okay, let's
That
go.
boy. That boy got a helmet on. That boy got a helmet for real. He got an internal helmet. You can't really hurt Rolly. And for him to get a belt, man, in boxing is crazy. That's just
It's
crazy as hell.
I mean,
You know,
remember he
I
he
mean,
had the regular belt. I think did he have the regular belt before Tank? No. He had an interim belt before he fought Tank. They gave him an interim belt when he beat the guy from Sweden damn, what was his name? The guy?
Rolly one of them dudes who cock strong, and if he get a lucky punch on you, he can hurt you. And
And
he's fast.
Rolly's got personality too, bro. That's how this guy came up because he used to talk all that stuff on the Mayweather channel, and that was one of the more and that was part of watching the Mayweather channel was listening to what Rolly was going to say next. And before I
And he
ever
always
saw,
calling motherfucker ugly, man. He always calling people ugly and shit.
he like, and hey,
He
let me
think he
let me
pretty
give
as
Rolly
hell, bro.
let me give Rolly his props here. Have you seen his sister?
Uh-uh.
His sister is very pretty, very photogenic. Let me say that she's a very photo. Like I don't even like discussing stuff like that because it sounds kind of like it's kind of weird. But I mean, I'm just saying. Honestly, his sister is very photogenic, very pretty girl.
Yeah, what he like, Puerto
But
Rican or some shit? Or what is he?
I think he's
Something.
part. I think he's Cuban. He's Cuban.
Cuban, yeah. Them
Yeah,
Cuban women
yeah.
be, they be tight, man. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, man. Them Cuban women be sweet, man.
I was surprised at that.
Sugar
That's his.
cane.
You look at her. You look at her. You'd be surprised. You wouldn't think that's his sister. But anyway,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want anybody doing that
You
to
look at
me.
a
So
little
let me
thing
not
for
do it.
Rolly's sister. See,
No, yeah, see, I don't want to do that because I wouldn't want somebody. I don't want somebody doing that to me or like to be like, oh man, yeah, his daughter. Oh, you seen his daughter or you seen his sister? No, I don't like that stuff. But I'll say that like,
yeah.
and Rolly is funny. He's funny. He's witty. It's just that my mom told me this at a young age. She said, and when I was like 12, 13, sometimes my nose would be stuffed and I'd be sitting there with my mouth open. She'd say, close your mouth. You look like you're stupid. Sometimes he just needs to
Mhm.
close his stop breathe through your nose.
Yeah,
It's as simple as that.
I think
It's
it's
as simple as that.
he wants to be a star so bad, what I'm saying? And it's just like he loves the camera, he loves the spotlight, and that just kind of just rubs you the wrong way. He's somebody who likes the spotlight like that. Just love to be
Yeah,
in the camera and shit, what I'm saying? It's like,
he's
damn,
good, man.
Rolly.
He's got a personality. We like that though. I
Well,
like the personality. That's what
I want
that's how he
I
got to
want
where
to
he's
see
at.
him fight. I want to see his fight skills, come up. You know what I'm saying? Instead of, what I'm saying, talking about he gonna beat Errol Spence Jr. and shit and all this shit. Like, bro, come on
He
now.
wants the bag.
Like,
That's why he wants the bag, man. He knows what he's going. That's what I'm telling.
get
Rolly's not
get
stupid, bro.
back.
He just needs to
Get,
breathe through his nose more. That should be like we should put that underneath his picture or his video. Rolly is not stupid. He just needs to breathe through his nose more. He's actually a really smart guy.
the kid is what's going on. The kid he says, Shakur contract ending with Top Rank. Let's see if he's ambitious and will leave Top Rank, uh, leave TOTP to go to, or I guess it's saying Top Rank to go to PBC, who have all the guys at 135, or if he stays with Top Rank and fights Cans. You know what I'm saying? That's what what's the name was just saying. Bowley was just saying. He said the kicker said Shakur resigns with Top Rank. He don't deserve our support. And well, I tell you, boy, with boxing fans, boy, it definitely is. What have you done for me lately? Type sport. You know what I'm saying? We be looking to the next fight, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? I want him to run it back with that dude, and I want him to have a better showing because I think his name took a hit. And just to ignore what we saw. You know what I'm saying? That's not good for Shakur, man. He need his name. He does have a certain uh level. You know what I'm saying? He is considered a high level fighter. And for him, if he's gonna continue, being a high level fighter, man, he need to them controversial wins, we you gotta get them out. You gotta separate yourself to me from where I'm coming from with it. He's gonna have to separate himself. He need to run that shit back. Les Rose says when I heard Bronner call out Rolly, I liked it very much. He says Bronner can cut the line. He gonna get his ass beat. You know what I'm saying? Because he probably got a 40 right now. Much as I root for the guy, but he lets you down. You know what I'm saying? It's like you want to see him get back to his old self, but I think he just mentally ain't there with it. You know what I'm saying? I think he wants to, but does he have the capability? It's kind of like watching Marcos Maidana trying to train to get back. You know what I'm saying? I think he did. I think he did get back and have a couple of fights, but you know what I'm saying? He's just trying to get back in shape. Hopefully he can do it, and hopefully he can beat somebody big. But you know, so he done been through so damn much, and boxing is such a grind. You know what I'm saying? Can he get back to championship caliber form? I don't know. You know, because he looked horrible in his last fight. Jesus Christ. He looked. Did you see that last fight Bronner had?
When he fought the lawyer.
Yeah.
No,
That
I
that
didn't.
shit was
I saw a
that
little bit
shit
of it. I didn't feel.
that shit looked like two uncles fighting at a barbecue. Mm.
Oh, go on. But I mean,
Mm.
like you remember when Broner? You remember when Broner fought Santiago, and then
Santiago.
you
Yeah,
remember
yeah, yeah.
he fought Santiago, and a lot of us thought he lost that fight. Some people said, I mean, he got the win, but a lot of us thought that uh, really thought that he lost that fight. I didn't. He didn't look good there. And then when Santiago fought Russell crushed his ass. I mean, and Santiago was pretty good. I mean, he was game, but the difference was is like, maybe Broner has passed that, that hunger point, or that aggression.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you what's going on in his mind.
It's
What I
inactivity.
hope is that,
It's
yeah,
inactivity, not being in the sport, drinking. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I mean, during that
exactly.
whole Bill K Prime comeback, they said he said it himself. Shit, he was drinking 40s during training and
Yeah,
shit. I was like, bro, come on, man, you can't do that, man. You know, you got a whole fan base out here that's dependent on you. You know what I'm saying, to do the right thing, man. And you know, these guys. I think the fans take boxing more seriously than some of the fighters at times. You know what I'm saying? And you know, these fighters don't be all up in the boxing
because
like
most of
that.
us aren't getting punched in the face daily. They get punched. It's not easy to go through that, and I understand that. So it just kind of depends. The some
But it's
guys,
harder to get your ass whipped because you've been drinking during training. You know, you're gonna take a bigger ass whipping if you don't. You know what I'm saying? If you don't do the right things. You know what I'm saying? If you cut corners. You know, having fun doing training and eating, and you know what I'm saying. If you're gonna lose even worse.
yeah, alcohol is going to age you faster for sure. Alcohol is going to age the fighter. Like I don't think any drug use is is good for the fighters, but I think like alcohol is like a slow. It's taking well, it's not slow. It's going to age you quickly, and
You're right about that.
boxing is a sport where you need every bit of that second, to get where you're going. Like that little split second can be the difference between you punching somebody and getting out the way, or you hitting him and he hitting you right back and you falling on the ground. You know,
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
so
So Tim Bradley talking about he predicts the Tank fight. You know what I'm saying, after this bad performance. You know what I'm saying. He said he predicts that they're gonna get it on and stuff. You know, but you said you thought that fight was already made.
what fight?
Shakur and Tank.
You think?
Says Tank.
Well, I think Tank by decision, especially after this. I said that before I saw this fight. I think it even more now because he's not going to want to engage with Tank.
Well, Tim says Tank is the guy. Is that Tank is the guy, man? He says Tank is the guy I want to see fight Shakur fight next. He said, however, I already know what it is going to be. He said Shakur definitely knows that he is going to have to take short money if that's going to happen. He said that's going to use he's going to use that against him. I get it. He said they're going to say you don't sell out no arenas. He says you don't bring anything to the table. You are going to run all night. He said they are going to say everything that they possibly can for the fight not to happen. He said I think that the fight should happen, and I want to see who can win that battle. Again, my money is on Shakur. Defense win. Defense win championships. He said, I could be wrong. Tank is an animal. He can fight, but he is yet to be in the ring with a guy that is as smart as Shakur and a guy that is on his IQ level. He's still pushing. He's still pushing. You know, I guess he got to push him long as he's at top rank. I would love to
Uh,
see if he goes to the PBC what the hell he say.
I mean, nobody, like the thing is like even if he goes to PBC, they're not gonna want to. Nobody. It doesn't matter. Like here's the thing about boxing. Like if another company already has money, time, and resources invested in a guy, if he goes to that net whatever, if he changes entities, promotional companies or networks, they're not gonna want to diminish their guy. They're gonna want to build him up and build him up even more. So there's a
Right.
certain status that he's attained. So they're not gonna talk down Shakur. They're just gonna say, yeah, we want that fight. Sure, we'll take that fight if it's available, or they'll say, we'll wait until he's on our side of the street or that type of thing, whatever the case is. All I
Okay.
want is
Well,
even. I just want things to. As a boxing fan, I just let it be an even playing field. Stop taking steroids. Stop loading the gloves up. Make it let it be an equal playing field. The judges have to look at it from a I know it's hard for them to do that, but I hope that they don't take into account, oh man, this guy's this and that, he's got this status. Just let it be what it is. It's two guys, fighter A, fighter B, or B and A, however you want to call it, and let the sport be the sport. But that's that's in a bubble. I'm thinking in a perfect world. I know it's not going to work out. So whatever.
mm,
That would be my
well,
hope.
well, let me borrow $75 because it's gonna be for that Dimitri Andrade fight with Benavidez. He says it's gonna be $75 on Showtime.
Oh,
Pay-per-view. You know what I'm
okay.
saying? 75 bucks. I mean, that's a stretch. I mean, I'm not sure how many casuals are gonna buy that. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure
It's a
we'll
great
buy
card.
it, but
It's a great card. I'm gonna watch it.
let's see. That Boo Boo says, yeah, that's $75, man. They want for that fight. You know what I'm saying?
Matias
You know,
Matias is on there. Isn't what's his name? Hector
he's fighting
Garcia.
that Shogun guy. Who's that guy? He
Yeah,
fighting
Ergashev.
Ogash. Yeah.
Yeah, he's fighting Ergashev, and then Lamont Roach is fighting Hector Garcia for the 130-pound belt. And then you got Jamal Charlo versus Jose Benavidez. Yeah, I'm watching that. you know
Oh yeah. Oh hell
that,
yeah.
yeah, that
Yeah,
is that is a good.
that's gonna be a real attitude fight right there.
Yeah,
Them boys don't like each other at all.
that's a great card. I like that card a lot. I'm there. I
Yeah,
I
they
wish if I could I'd be there live, but I can't make that one. So
yeah, they that's gonna be I think that's gonna be a pretty good I think it's gonna be better than advertised. Um, what I'm saying? That's gonna be the shit right there. But $75, man, Showtime pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? I wonder if that's gonna be I guess we gotta look at the itinerary that they got, which is gonna be the last fight for Showtime, you know. Just got
no,
to
no, they
look
got
at it
one more.
because
They got a David Morrell card in
oh
in
okay.
December. Yeah,
Oh
he's
that's
gonna
awesome.
remember Agbeko who was gonna be on. He was gonna fight Morrell on the Tank undercard on
Yeah,
the Tank Garcia.
I'm gonna
Hmm.
miss Showtime, bro. I really am, man. You know, I'm gonna
It's
miss
tough. It's
that.
tough.
Yeah, but HBO they had to go, so you know what I'm saying? It'll be
Yeah,
somebody else
because
that pick it up.
that's that corporate. They looked at HBO Max and I think they said, hey man, they're still making money, and they have a certain expectations for viewership and stuff like that. And with streaming, look, we know people are streaming these fights and watching these fights. The question is like how do you make it more you like putting fights behind a paywall. It's tough, and the
Hmm.
problem is with boxing is that like the sponsors, it's like they want to be a part of it but they don't want to be a part of it type of thing. You know what I'm saying? And it depends. That's when you really can see the bias of corporate America and how they value you and who they look at and who they want to watch this stuff is when you look at it through the lens of boxing. Remember when Triple G got the Apple endorsement
Hmm.
off of what? So like this was, and that was during the era of Andre Ward. And look, man, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough, bro. It's something. And unfortunately, there's still certain barriers that have yet to be broken in people's mind, and it is what it is. It is what it is, and all you need to
Yeah, man.
know is when it came to that Wilder situation, when so many people turned their back on that, man, it told me a lot. It
Yeah,
spoke
yeah.
volumes to me. It spoke volumes to me. We don't have to keep going on about it, and I don't want to stretch it out, but it said a lot to me,
That shit. David said he coming to whip Andre ass. He talking a lot of shit. David
man.
really
I
don't.
can't wait.
uh,
Hey,
He
man.
told me he coming to whip his ass, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of little trash talking. You know what I'm saying, going on. But so I can't wait to Saturday. I can't
Oh,
wait to
let me
see
ask
that.
you this. This is what I meant to ask you. Here's a tough question, a question for the chat. Let's say Benavidez wins, and let's say that Devin Haney wins, who's the fighter of the year? David Benavidez or Devin Haney,
Mm. Well, the
or
heavier you
somebody
go,
else?
you got to give more respect. You know what I'm saying, to them big boys.
You
The
think
little
so?
dudes. You know what I'm saying. It's okay, but David Benavidez versus that's a higher caliber fight. You know what I'm saying? Because Regis never been a star like that. You know what I'm saying? He's a good, solid champion. Hanging out with the them Texas boys, and he got his own little swag and everything. From his area, but he's not a Dimitri Andrade. He don't bring what Dimitri Andrade brings to the table. As far as skills and as far as what I'm saying, his cachet. David, what I'm saying, he brings his what I'm saying, his abilities, and he brings his people. So yeah, I think David will get it. He's had more exciting fights. What I'm saying, he's a more action packed kind of fighter. I think people rock with David. What I'm saying, over Devin. What I'm saying. So
Think so?
a lot of people, a lot
Let
of
me
people
make
don't.
my case for Devin.
Hmm.
Since Judah's not here, since Judah's not here, let me make my case for Devin.
Yeah, Judah, get in here. You better get your ass up off here with that shit.
No, no, no.
Mm.
I'm arguing on behalf of Judah because he's not there. I'm saying, like, let
Oh,
me make
oh,
the
okay,
case for
oh, okay.
Devin.
Oh, I thought
Yeah,
you
let
was
me make the
okay.
case for Devin. Devin Haney fought 3 division champion Lomachenko, right? He was undisputed. Now he's moving up to a higher division and going after what a lot of people believe is the best champion in that division, right? And Regis is a 2-time champion, which he won before, but you really know a guy is a legitimate champion when he wins the championship again, and that's what he did, right? And Haney, if he's able to beat him in the same year, 2 different divisions after being undisputed in the other, and fighting a multi-time champion. I mean, it's tough. That's why I asked the question. It's a very, very tough scenario because on the other end, Benavidez is also fighting a 2-time champion and a guy who's still undefeated in Demetrius Andrade, and he also beat Caleb Plant, who's a very good champion at super middleweight and held that belt for a few years. So it's very tough, man. I don't know. I mean, they both have to win first, but I'm just saying if I
Yeah.
don't know who would be who would you consider
No, but uh,
who else would be
I mean,
considered for
as,
fighter
as
of the
far
year if
as
not
as
David
far as
Haney?
the accolades go, yeah, Devin got him beat. But I'm talking about as far as people, the casual, bringing in casuals and keeping the hardcore attention. You know what I'm saying? It's like he can't compare to David Benavidez, bro. Especially as he done went out there and destroyed Caleb Plant. You know what I'm saying? He in there with Canelo, and he's in the. They're making 168 a glamour division right now. You got some good talent up there. Devin, now as he start fighting better competition at 140, what I'm saying, he'll get up there. But people are not. He don't capture the imagination like a Tank Davis, or what I'm saying. He's just a boxer. He don't have
Of
no
course.
cash, no swag, no. What I'm saying, he's just a really good elite fighter. That's it. What I'm
Or
saying. But
Tank.
David,
Tank could be
he's the
fighter of the
Mexican
year.
monster, huh?
Tank could be fighter. Tank had 2 really good wins as well against both
If he if
Garcias.
he knocked out Shakur Stevenson, yeah. 'Cause I think he's about to
I think
fight. Who he about to fight again? Pitbull. I think he's about to fight Pitbull again. He'll knock
who
Pitbull out. I think he's about
I,
to fight Pitbull again, ain't
I doubt it. I doubt that. I don't think so. I don't think so.
he?
You
He'll
think he's
knock
gonna fight
Pitbull
Pitbull
ass
again
out this time. He would
on
knock
on the
Pitbull out this time.
On the new network, they're gonna give you some fresh. They're gonna serve up some fresh meat. They're not gonna go over some retread. You might fight him down the line, but they're not gonna do that for the first fight. I don't believe that.
Shit. I would like to see Tank fight Frank Martin. Really,
Yeah,
that would be a damn good fight.
that'd be a great fight, and nobody's
I mean,
nobody's
they
complaining
should
about that.
let the fans. They should like do like an internet poll, and they should let the hardcore fans match up the fighters.
Shit. I'll make that Russell. I'll make the Gary Russell Jr. fight. I don't care what nobody says. I would say put
He
Gary
said,
Russell in there.
man, Maul got to get back.
Yeah,
Snowshoes, assistant living. He gonna have to get back, man. What I'm
he's
saying,
gonna
he
get
he ain't back yet.
have to.
He got to get
I,
by Jose Benavidez, and that's gonna tell us where his mentality at. Because he really, all in all, he should go out there and dominate Jose Benavidez. And Jose Benavidez is a man with no land. He ain't got nothing to lose. So he got everything to gain, nothing to lose. So he could go all out and give Jamal, who's just getting back into things after two
he's too
years
little.
being out of the business. Shit, he vulnerable. You know what I'm
He's too
saying?
little.
He vulnerable.
He's
What'd you
too
say?
little. He's too little.
Who that? Jose Benavidez?
Yeah, he don't got it. I mean, when I say he's too little, I don't mean like he's tall enough,
Size,
but I don't,
mhm.
he don't have the he doesn't have like that internal weight and strength.
Foundation.
Yeah, he don't got
Yeah,
that. No.
yeah. But
Charlo is a
what do you
beast.
think about? But what do you think about him? See, if he was in his uh his final form, say if he was the old Jamal, right now he's not the same Jamal that fought Dervin right now. Right now
Man,
he's just a
Jamal is a
Jamal getting
slugger
back.
at heart. He's a slugger at heart, though. You never seen
Hmm.
Jamal doesn't take steps back. He comes forward. Even you remember that the Juan Montiel fight? People had the nerve
Yeah.
to criticize him. Man, he was in there with a guy who was below his level. So he said, you know what? I'm gonna straight up fight this guy. And he made it a fight and he beat the hell out of that guy. And the next time he got in the ring, he got in there with Adamas, and Adamas beat him easily. Why? Because he
What
took
up,
so much
Manager Marty
punishment now.
in the building? What's up, Manager Marty in the building? Y'all subscribe to
Oh,
Manager
Manager
Marty.
Marty, what's up, man? Manager Marty came back. He came back. He's coming back strong from what I'm seeing. I'm
Yeah,
seeing it.
man. Yeah, yeah. I've been on the road, Manager Marty. Yeah, I've been trying to get back, getting a dedicated account so I can sit down and do some live streams and stuff. I've been watching you though. I've been watching you over there. You doing.
Yeah,
I
man.
love the new. I love the new intro, the logo and stuff, man. You looking great over there, man. Looking very professional. You know what I'm saying? Some people bring a lot of style to YouTube and bring a lot of legitimacy to this boxing talk. And I think Manager Marty is one of them dudes, man. That's just going to be big. You know what I'm saying, with this boxing talk and everything, because he just brings so much insight, what I'm saying, to the business of it. And we be speculating a lot, but manager Marty, he's an actual manager, boxing manager. So, to school us on how these dudes be moving on, and how do they come to some of these decisions, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Manager Marty, he has like really shed a lot of light on that. He says, much respect to both of you guys. He said, I'm trying to get better with this. He says YouTube stuff. He says, I'm a rookie. Laugh out loud. Bro, you might be a rookie, but what I'm saying, you have surpassed many of us with what you bring, the perspective that you bring to this thing, man. It's like very valuable, you know.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah, a lot of people ain't gonna like you, but a lot of people gonna love you. So it just is what it is. So, but yeah, man, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I,
For me,
I
like
think this.
he occupies
Hmm.
a space that a lot of people don't occupy in boxing because he's directly involved in the business, right? So
Hmm.
there's certain things that he knows, and you can't underestimate that. And for me, more than anything, like I appreciate when because I don't have a channel, I just like listening to, I like watching boxing and I like listening to people talk about boxing. So for me, I just appreciate it when people are genuine, even sometimes if it's to a fault. If you're being genuine and you're not trolling, I can respect it. If I think that you're trolling or you have a vested interest in somebody and you're not being straight up, that's when I just float away. you know,
Well,
that's how
but Marty be exposing these dudes on here. You know what I'm saying? I like, man, you know what I'm saying? It's like he opened your eyes, you know what I'm saying, to a lot of stuff, man. You like when he was breaking down Blue Blood, I was like, man, god dang, man, this dude here is a joke, bro.
Nah,
And
mine was with the other dude. What was his name? The one who Rick Glazer. When Rick Glazer got pissed and ran
oh
off with the
yeah,
man, that shit was hilarious, bro. I mean, you could feel the tension because like Rick Glazer was trying to hold it together and be like, not to kirk out and be unprofessional, but you could just feel it because manager Marty was challenging him on so many different levels, and he knew where the conversation was gonna go, and he didn't want it to
hmm
go there. And manager Marty took it there, and that's why he just dipped out because he could have kept talking in the same tone, right? He could have been calm and answered the question. Man, that shit was golden. That
yeah,
was golden.
and and them guys, they brought and paid for, they haters and networks and Steve Kim and some of all these other writers, you know what I'm saying? You can't really believe what they saying
No,
because they
no.
never give you an honest opinion. They never give their honest opinion about nothing. You know what I'm saying? They always trying to downplay PBC fighters, you know what I'm saying, just because they're PBC. Al Heyman fighters, always got something negative to say about the Black Network. Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah. You on that reporter level, bro. Let's roll the tape. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you roll that tape over there, Molly, you about to see it. You know what I'm saying? Something real. You know what I'm saying? Somebody about to get exposed over there, you know. So, I really appreciate it, man. I watch you all the time, bro. You know what I'm saying? I just be driving and stuff, man. I be driving for 11 hours. I mean 10 hours most of the day. So, I be tuning in, but I can't really text and that 'cause I be driving and stuff, you know. But you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna wrap it up. We've been on for about 3 hours. I think that's a pretty good look cook. And what I'm saying, we'll come back, what I'm saying, next time I have a reset and we'll chop it up, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
I
appreciate it a lot,
appreciate
man.
everybody for coming through, Bowley, you know what I'm saying, Manager Marty, what I'm saying, everybody, and see you guys in the next one. You know what I'm
You gonna
saying?
be
Peace out
you
to
coming on for
everybody.
Benavides and Andre?
You know what? Let me see, Saturday. Yeah, you know I am, bro.
Oh,
You
okay.
know,
I
I,
just want to
if
make
I have to
sure.
pull over, and do it, man, I will. You know what
All
I'm
right,
saying?
yeah,
We
man.
definitely going live. Yes,
If
sir.
you on if
See
you're on
you.
live, then I'll be here. I missed the last one. I was mad because I was checking for you early, and I think you
Well,
might have
I
got on
didn't
like
even know. Man, the internet was so bad where it was. I was out in the boonies, and
yeah.
so I said, man, I got to go live, bro. I said, I can't just, say, 'cause every area I go to, I be in Pennsylvania, San Francisco, I be everywhere, bro.
Damn.
And the internet, wherever I land, sometimes the internet is just terrible, bro. So, but I'm gonna try to make sure I plan it out to where I can come on live. You know what I'm saying, for that fight. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate everybody coming through supporting Pool Counter Boxing. You know what I'm saying? Y'all hit the like button for your boy, you know what I'm saying? On the shorts, hit the like button and leave a comment. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how I do. You know what I'm saying? But I see you guys in the next one, man.
Peace.
Peace out, y'all.